Hello guys, my name is EricVanWilderman, and welcome to my Corpse Party Book of Shadows Endings guide. So what you can do right now is you can click on any of the annotations down below and it'll take you to the exact ending that you want to see. Unfortunately, this feature is only available to users on a PC, so if you want to activate that, you're going to have to use a PC. Annotations are currently not available on smartphones or tablets. So how this game works is there are endings to each of the different chapters, and so for example chapter 1 is ending 1, 2, and 3. 3 being in gold means that 3 is the true ending to that chapter, and if you click on endings 1 and 2 you'll be taken to the wrong or the bad endings for that specific chapter. Now when you do click on the endings, or when you do see these endings, just watching this video in order, you're going to see a brief moment where I will give a short explanation of how to get the endings, followed by the actual ending itself. And now, the ending itself are going to have my commentary to them, because if you're new to this channel, my fans really wanted to see my reactions to these endings, and so my reactions are going to be in here. It's not just going to be the raw gameplay footage, so I'm really terribly sorry about that. There are videos with raw gameplay footage out there of the endings, so you can go and search for those if you want to see those. One thing to keep in mind about the endings and my reaction to the endings is that if I've already gotten the ending during my Let's Play, I've just included my original reaction to it, and so there might be some information that happens later on in the game from that point that I wasn't privy to, and so if that's the case, that's the reason why. If I'm wearing a Domo beanie, then that means that this is a new ending that I hadn't gotten during my Let's Play, and so that'll be your indicator that it's something that I haven't experienced yet. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed. It did take me a while to compile this together. There are 33 endings altogether, and so yeah, it was a little bit of an editing nightmare, but it's all good and it's all worth it. So yeah, thank you for your patience. I know this came out like a week and a half after the last episode of Corpse Party Book of Shadows came out, so I am really sorry about that, but leaving a like, it does help me out a lot as a small YouTuber and to get this endings guide up for more people to see. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy. So as Seiko lay hanging here and Naomi is thinking, we're gonna choose to use the bucket outside. But we know where this is gonna lead to, don't we guys? Buckets are evil. Seiko, you gonna die. You gonna die. I mean, in the first Corpse Party game, this is how she dies. Also, buckets kill so many people here. I'm glad Naomi thinks about this. Seiko's like, oh god, it hurt, help me. And she's like, well, inside the bucket there were clumps of unidentifiable rotting meat, crawling with countless maggots. Sight alone was a little bit nauseating. Seiko's like, help, Naomi, help. Yeah, this is great. Are you sure? It sounded like you hesitated a little bit. You didn't have to hold it against your chest. You could have just held it by the handle or by the side. She's already dead. Oh, she's not dead. Oh yeah, she's gonna slip, isn't she? Yeah, but it's gross and slippery and old and it's gonna break. You're gonna do it. That's such a dumb thing to do. Wouldn't you first try to like balance her weight so she's not choking? Oh, I missed that scream. Oops. Don't worry, we'll hear some more screams. 聖子の首に負担をかけ
細い首の骨は簡単に折れてしまった。
So in other words, you were falling and you're like, oh my god, what can I brace myself on? And you grabbed onto Seiko and then you like pulled her down. That's great.
嘘でしょ。やだ、
Well, Naomi is a little bit useless, so I mean,
聖子の首は
as expected.
変な風に曲がっていた。全身の力が抜け、だらりとした手足がつられた体と一緒にゆらゆらと回転している。
She's dead.
やだ。
Or maybe she's just sleeping. She's gonna open her eyes and be like, tricked you, Naomi!
手の中から今の瞬間の感触が消えない。聖子の首を折った。私が殺した。
You kinda did. But you didn't actually, like, kill her. I mean, someone else did this. And by someone else, I mean you, because the story is Naomi is the one that did it to her. But she just doesn't remember because she was completely darkened.
頭を抱えてしゃがみ込む。心で否定しても頭の中では分かっていた。これはうっすらと感じていた。
Yes,
だ
it
けど
is.
変えることはできたはずなのに。私の中で恐怖と絶望と怒りのような感情が渦巻いて止まらない。分かってたのに。止められなかった。なんてこと。私はまた同じことを繰り返してしまったんだ。
You did. Boom, wrong end. Okay, so we're just gonna hit think of something else for the third time, and she's gonna die because Naomi just keeps on thinking.
私に今できることを逃げずに今考えるのよ。
What are we gonna do? Sadly, I seem to have overthought matters. Time wasn't just running out, it was gone. I like this. Naomi's like, what should I do? Oh! You're dead! Seiko really... What? Oh! Oh, she was like thrashing wildly, yeah.
私の顎を蹴り飛ばした。よろけた私は床に尻餅をついてしまった。
Well, it is like her death throw, like she's trying to survive. Makes sense.
苦しいんだ。急がなきゃ。
Yeah, that's such a horrible noise. You're too slow. That's a bad noise. Oh, she just wet herself. You know, if this was South Park, she'd be defecating right now.
聖子の首が変な風に曲がっていた。全身の力が抜け、だらりとした手足がつられた体と一緒にゆらゆらと回転している。
And she peed herself. Why didn't you say that, Naomi?
嘘でしょ。やだ、聖子。
Naomi, I can just imagine Naomi thinking, and it was tinkle time for Seiko right now.
間に合わなかった。心で否定しても頭の中では分かっていた。これはもともとたどり着く予定だった。定められた運命。
You think about what you've done, Naomi.
だけど変えることはできたはずなのに。
Yeah, you could have. You could have let her survive for an extra 5 minutes.
私の中で恐怖と絶望と怒りのような感情が渦巻いて止まらない。分かってたのに。分かってたのに。
Well, just wait for the next time loop then.
止められなかった。なんてこと。私はまた同じことを繰り返してしまったのか。聖子、やだ。一人にしないで。私を置いていかないで。
Well, guys, if you weren't so dumb and split up all the time and were like, oh my god, let's get emotional, then maybe it wouldn't have happened.
冷たい静寂が 私の体を包み
Well, not Seiko. More like Naomi.
私以外の命の消滅。どんなに叫んでも聖子は返事をしてくれなかった。
You're right. She's kind of got a broken neck. And she's dead. I think the dead thing should come first, actually.
けど今私と聖子は死の運命を乗り越えた。もう怖くない。二人いれば大丈夫だ。私は目の前で呼吸をしている聖子の顔を見た。
Okay. Too weak to go any farther just yet. She's still gurgling and...
バカ、なんで首なんかするの
Seiko is probably thinking like, I didn't. You tried to do this to me. This is awkward. Seiko is probably freaking out. I bet Seiko is like starting to darken herself, because imagine having the person you just confessed your love to trying to hang you and kill you, which is probably why Seiko is freaking out. Because Seiko's like, I love you, and then she's thinking, oh, Naomi hates me, or doesn't like me, or hates me, because Seiko wants to take back what she said, and so she's trying to kill me. So, this is crazy, guys. This is such a crazy situation. But it's interesting, that's for sure. Naomi, you have no idea. This is so terrible. It's so hard to watch. I wasn't gonna let anyone take her away from me. I think Seiko's a little worried about that. I won't leave you alone again. Seiko doesn't want to be left alone with you, Naomi. Ugh, all she can do is, she can't even talk. Her windpipe is crushed, isn't it? Well, it's not crushed because she'd be dead, but it's definitely damaged. See? Seiko, she's freaking out like, what's going on? And she's like, she hears the name Naomi, and she's like, no, you hung me. Ah! Yeah, see, Naomi hung her up in there. And you know what, see, when Seiko died before, she died, and then at the end of the game, as a ghost, she was sending her, like, the text messages, and she forgave Naomi for what she did, because she realized that she was darkened. But at this point, you know, she hasn't forgiven her, because from Seiko's perspective, Seiko's like, I love you, and then Naomi went and hung her, and so Seiko's, like, freaking out, and that probably darkened her more, so she isn't even thinking straight, and now Seiko is just a freaked out mess right now.
Seiko!
It's so terrible. I hate to see Seiko like this, you know. Anyone doesn't deserve to die, it's her. Although none of these people deserve to die. But Naomi's, you know, a little bit more deserving to die than Seiko. I hate to say it. She wasn't, because you tried to hang her. Oh my god, she ran out? No. Well, if someone hung me, I'd probably try to escape from them too, if you know what I mean. No! Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, I have a really bad feeling about this. No. No! Oh my god! I don't know if it's clicked with you guys yet, but remember at the bottom of the stairs there's that, the really sharp string that's hung up there, so she's gonna run into that! Oh my god, no! No, no, no. No! Oh my god. No! I don't want to watch it. Oh no. No. No, Seiko. No. That's totally what happened. God, I should have known something like that was gonna happen. Oh. Ah! Oh no! I know this didn't change anything. It gave her like an extra 10 seconds to live. Okay, maybe an extra minute or something, but what the fuck? Oh my god. That looks like a mustache, doesn't it? Kinda does. Oh, that's so... What? Oh, look at... Look at Sachiko, she's like licking the darkening stuff. She's like, oh, it's delicious. Oh, the darkening. Oh, yeah, I love it. Oh, give me some more of that. Your pain and suffering. Wow, Sachiko, that's just sick. I can taste the tears. Of course she's a bitch. Guardian angel my ass. Well, that means that no matter what we do, nothing's gonna change. So we pretty much know exactly who's gonna die in this game. But, you know, it does add bits to the story, though, I admit. Ew, that's horrible. It's like, she's basically saying the time loop is gonna keep on repeating itself, and she's gonna kill them in worse ways every time. Stop looking so innocent, Sachiko. Oh, I see. She'll take them back out of your head and put you back at... Ew, Sachiko. See, Sachiko's well aware of this time loop. She knows exactly what's going on. She is controlling the time loop. Oh god, it tastes good. Oh god, you die more. I just licked my arm, that's gross. Sachiko, at least you are kind of funny. That's comedy gold, Sachiko. Oh. Ah, that's so horrible. She's like holding her head. Sorry, I'm just... My tears are running down her forehead, into her nose, into her mouth, into her eyes. But definitely not on her arms or legs, because her body is not there. That's terrible. Seiko's piercing into your soul like, why did you hang me? She hasn't had time to forgive you yet. Naomi, we know why she was afraid. You don't, though, but you'll find out. See, these images are flashing into Naomi's mind, but she's obviously forgotten about, like, towards the ending, like, what happened at the end. She's just... The images in her memory are focused on Seiko's death, because that's the most important event. But, you know, her learning about her killing Seiko was pretty eye-opening. You think she would have had flashes of remembering that, but I guess not. Don't worry, you'll always be with her and her head. Okay? Sorry, my mind is crazy. When she says, please say something, I just imagine her taking Seiko by the hair in her jaw and being like, hello, I am saying something now. I don't know why that came in my head. I'm sick. Forget that ever happened. All I could do is scream. I scream, you scream, we all scream. For our friends to come back to life. Well, Naomi, this definitely isn't heaven. Well, there you go, Naomi. Asking for others' help, but then running away from them at the same time. You are an oxymoron. Is that it? Now let's not focus on that ghost. But maybe I should, just for the heck of it, let's try it. Ugh! Oh no! That was a bad idea. Mayu, say it again, maybe he will. I was caught in his cold, dead hands. He had me by the wrist and absolutely was not letting go. I'm sorry. I don't have your tongue. Not yet. Someone else is going to give you your tongue later in the future, though, okay? So look forward to it, please. With one sudden, inelegant movement, he grabbed my hair in his other hand and began violently pulling on it with all his might. Oh, it sounds like he's, like, ripping her hair out. Ugh. Oh, what is that? She just spilled some kind of guts. Some blood and guts are spilled. In that instant, I found myself unable to breathe and unable to speak. The hand that was previously on my wrist was now strangling the life out of me, gripping my neck with an almost inhuman amount of strength. Because he's a ghost, supernatural shit, okay, Mayu? That's why. For a brief moment, I could feel a cold sensation on my arm. And then, just like that, my entire torso was forced backwards into a decidedly unnatural bend. I heard a sound like the cracking of a huge lobster tail. Visual novels have the craziest descriptions of death. Like the cracking of a huge lobster tail. Sudden jolts of intense pain shot through every last inch of my body like electricity, and sweat began to overflow from every pore. I want to hear the cough. Yes. Blub, blub, blub. Sorry, Mayu, you're leaking fluids. Okay. You're leaking some kind of fluids. My body, equally uncertain on how to react to levels of pain this severe, responded with intense nausea. Somebody, please. Nope, you're gonna leak some more Sorry, Mayu, I couldn't give you those extra couple hours of life. You're dying. That's what's happening. How many people were in the room with me? I was feeling the touch of countless hands, and some clearly did not belong to children. Who were these people, and how many of them were holding me down? Yet another hand grabbed my ankle. With even greater force than before, my legs were pulled in opposite directions. Then, with a startlingly loud crunch, they snapped right off my hips. It's like a wishbone, like at turkey wishbone, you know, where you pull it apart and you make a wish. It's kind of like that, but they did it with Mayu. They're like, whoever gets the bigger half makes a wish. Is that gross? Should I have just said no comment? Good end. My limbs were either gone now or barely still attached. I was like a discarded wishbone. Ah, she said it first. I was like a discarded wishbone. Or they have no qualms about breaking. Man, I am a genius. The game agrees with everything that I say. I'm a sick genius. Sorry, Mayu. Yeah, I've heard enough gross sounds, okay? I know she's dead, she's split in half, she's bleeding, she's leaking fluids. That's the wrong end. Well, I'm gonna reload my game right back at that point. Hey there, little Rio. What are you doing over there? I just came to say hi. He really wanted to say hi to me too. His icy child hands caught hold of my wrists and wouldn't let go. Try as I might, I couldn't shake him. That's right, shaking a ghost, it wouldn't work that well. What's gonna happen to you, Yoshiki? Oh, uh-oh. This escalated super quickly. We are now in this room. When I came to, I found myself restrained. I couldn't move a muscle. The aptly named Death Room. I was lying face up on some kind of table with both my arms and both my legs firmly bound by rope? I guess. It was digging into my skin, whatever it was. Yeah, that sucks. You shouldn't be hitting the sauce while you're in a totally different dimensional school rift thing. Yeah, that is right after that, because she says don't look into his eyes, and he's... Oh my god, I just sneezed on camera. I haven't done that only like once before ever. My head was the only part of my body that didn't have its movements prohibitively restricted, so I was able to look around the room to some extent. Yoshiki shouldn't have looked into his eyes. Hey Yoshiki, don't look into his eyes, okay? Yoshiki's like, nope, I'm gonna do it. The walls and ceiling seem to be made of dirt and mud. I didn't get the impression that I was in school anymore. You're in the basement. You're in the bomb shelter. It looked and felt kind of like I was in some basement room. Or more specifically, a mine or a bomb shelter or something. You're smart. Holy crap. I wonder who would think that first. Like, this room looks different. Am I in a bomb shelter? I wouldn't think that first. Thick, gloppy bloodstain saturated every corner of the room, and the stench in the air was enough to send a shiver down even the most hardened spine. My spine's pretty hard. It seemed fairly apparent that what this room was used for, at least it was as apparent as it needed to be, but the scariest part was, I remembered this place. Or I had a nagging sense that I'd been here before anyway, much like Shinozaki had said about that weird classroom just moments before. That's right, but you're a little restrained. You're gonna have a hard time. Hi, Pikachu / Sachiko. Oh, she's got that smile on her face that spreads all across her face. How beautiful. I mean, cute. And he's got that look on his face like he's either ready to give a blowjob or he's just surprised. I'm not too sure. The voice belonged to a little girl who looked like she was right around 10 years old at most. She was wearing a red dress and staring at me through a mop of messy black hair with a smirk on her face and a condescending glint in her eyes. Hey, don't look down on me. You're small, I'm looking down on you. Like, physically, okay? Ooh, he's like, how do I know? I muttered a name without thinking, surprising myself. How did I know who this was? Or more to the point, who is Sachiko? Aw, Sachiko's happy. She's like, if you forgot me, I would be so upset because our meeting before was phantasmabalzo. Ooh, I wonder if the time loop ends if they die here. Like, if all of them die here, is the time loop just over? Do they go through another time loop? Or do they go through another time loop, like, perpetually? I don't know. Uh-oh. Aren't we pinned to the table? Oh. Yeah, don't say that to Sachiko, okay? In the very next moment, everything around me seemed to go white. Oh, wow. She's cutting right to the chase. He must be getting pulled apart, isn't he? Well, you kinda are psychotic. Shouldn't you take that as a compliment, Sachiko? Shouldn't you be like, psychotic? Me? You're right! Come on. Sachiko was now staring at me with a cold, unmoved, and unwavering expression. I was in more pain than I'd ever felt in my entire life. I focused my gaze on the filthy giant at her side, who seemed to be doing her bidding. He's kind of like Hodor. Hodor. His enormous hammer was still resting on the mess that was previously my right ankle up until about a few seconds ago. Okay, never mind. He got whacked with the hammer. I was all too aware that the extreme impact had pierced my flesh, shattered my bones, and even sprayed the room with shards of marrow. That's descriptive. This was beyond pain. Every last nerve ending in my body was on alert. I could feel the underside of my skin. I wanted to puke, but knew it would do no good. Ooh, that's crazy. Sachiko, I want to snap your little neck. Your little ghostly undead thingamabob. You're a character, Sachiko. He is a cool looking guy, though. You got that right. Stop this, you bug out. Screams of pain. Oops. Man, Yoshiki's a badass. Look at him just talking back to Sachiko as he's getting beaten. Everyone else is usually like, no, save me. Yoshiki's just still keeping it coming. And look at Sachiko. Sachiko's just like, oh, God, how much pain does he have to take? I tried my best to stay strong and not give her the satisfaction of seeing me in pain or afraid. And it's working. Look at her. She's like, cannot compute. What's going on? But in truth, I was scared out of my mind. All I wanted to do was shrink back in fear and agony. It took every fiber of my being to resist. You're so mean. You just called him Blockhead, even though he helps you so much. Okay. Okay. The red-eyed giant laid down his hammer, but rather than feeling relief, I was instead even more worried by Sachiko's sadistically overjoyed expression. What? I was flabbergasted. I couldn't even speak. Oh, shit! Oh no, that's the worst. Now Yoshiki's gonna start begging and pleading. This is a crazy wrong ending. Holy shit. This is a really crazy wrong ending. This is torture. This is... Oh, I just can't imagine, like, a person that I love, like, being ripped apart and killed right in front of me. Oh. God, Sachiko, you're so cute. But seriously, like, watching this, I hate her so much. Like, I just... Oh my god.
もし殺してやるが殺してくれになったらその時は優しく殺してあげる
As she said this, she drew her face in close, and I could feel her tiny cold lips sucking the tears from my cheek. Holy shit! She's drinking Yoshiki's tears. Oh my god.
その憎悪が死んでからも変わらなければお前も私になれるかもしれないね
That was a really cool wrong end. Holy shit. That was cool. That was really cool. So remove the bandages or try to reach the bucket. Let's try to reach the bucket. I agree. Bucket first, and I'm sure we can do it. We gotta put our heads together, though. Good call. Good call. Is this gonna work, or are they gonna fall onto Yoshiki or something? There should be something for you to stand on. What is in there? Good. If there's desks here, why didn't you just step on the desk in the first place? Oh, okay, never mind. This brought to mind all the doors and windows that were so firmly frozen in place they might as well have been cement walls. I didn't need convincing. I knew that Kishinuma said was true. Those desks and chairs weren't going anywhere. I had no other choice but to step in. That's a good call. Good idea. I was gonna say that initially. Maybe she could step on Yoshiki's back or something. See, look at Mayu's so awesome. She's such a do-it girl. Naomi wouldn't. She'd be like, no way, I'm wearing a skirt. That's so dumb. I totally shouldn't do that. And she'd leave and the girl would die. That's what Naomi would do. I swallowed nervously, then reached my hands over my head, careful not to make any sudden movements. I could reach the bucket's handle just fine, fortunately. Now all that remained was untying it and getting it down without spilling whatever happened to lie within. I got a bad feeling about this, actually. Oh god, oh no, Mayu's... I mean, she's strong, but I don't think she's strong physically. Whatever it was, it definitely wasn't liquid. This was a solid, tangible weight. It felt almost as if the whole thing was filled to the brim with lead. I tried my hardest to maintain balance while adjusting to this unexpected new mass in my hands, but... Uh-oh. Uh-oh! It was no use. The bucket was slipping loose from my grip, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Inevitably, my hands gave out and the bucket was airborne. Someone had coated it in soapy water or oil, making it virtually impossible to hold on to. You know, I just find these things hard to believe, you know? It's like, it's a heavy bucket. It's like, come on. Oh, maybe the bucket's big. I don't know. Whoever set this trap had apparently anticipated this very scenario and planned for it accordingly. We were meant to find this girl, we were meant to try rescuing her, and we were meant to fail miserably. This was all one big joke to someone. The bucket flipped over in midair, raining its contents down into the unknown and suspecting victim below. Directly onto her face. Sorry! Oh, what happened to the... Oh, she's screaming. Oh, never mind. I'm hearing blood. Her cries only lasted for 1 or 2 seconds. They were followed by a few convulsions in her legs and then stillness. Thousands of assorted nails, razors, scissors, and tacks all struck the poor girl's face, piercing her soft cheeks and eyes and filling her mouth. It took almost no time at all for what was left of her pale, perfect skin to be dyed crimson. Oh, shit. Mayu, it's not your fault, it's my fault, because I kind of made that decision for you. See, Yoshiki's smart, though. It wasn't. It's the person who made the trap's fault, obviously. So what, Mayu's gonna go crazy now? Oh, wow! Holy crap, wrong end. Okay, so usually we go in the hole ourselves, we have step up, but we're gonna send Yoshiki in because why would we want to go and do the dirty work when we can just send Yoshiki to go do it? Even though I really like Yoshiki. Yoshiki, you're so cool, you can do this. But he's a lot heavier, I bet, because he's bigger.
Thank you. じゃあ、ちょっと降りてくるわ。ロープつか包帯頼んだぜ。
了解。気をつけてね。
Yeah, like we're gonna be able to hold you up.
何かあったら包帯を引いて合図してください。私
Oops, sorry, Nana, I cut you off.
力じゃ無理だって。そん時は必死で登るから、ロープだけは離さないでくれよ。
Those must be some pretty strong bandages. Maybe bandages are strong and I just don't know a thing or two about bandages, who knows? So what's gonna happen down here then?
Shit. 鈴本、地面についたぜ。
大丈夫？どう？何かありそう？
暗くてよくわかんねえけど、今から調べてみる。
Oh yeah, he's gonna find Ayumi's name tag down here and he's gonna start freaking out, isn't he? Not that this is a pleasant prospect, though it's too dark to see the area clearly. This entire space has an oppressive feel to it. Could be all the dead bodies around you. Probably. Your vision is adjusting now. Let's just check this dead body. There are a large number of dead bodies scattered throughout the room. Most seem to have died long ago, having decayed into proper skeletons, but a small handful seem fresh, as if they were alive only yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. Time has really no meaning here, alright? Okay, let's just search for the shiny object that was down here that I can't seem to find. Yeah, where are you, shiny object? Okay, so you gotta inspect this girl here. But I inspected the girl, but it gave me another dialogue option before, which really tripped me out. It's a girl's body. This one is one of the ones that seems like a more recent death. So recent, in fact, that there's still a hint of body heat coming off of her. All of her fingers have been cut off, and her tongue seems to have been removed as well. Her student ID name tag is clearly displayed on her jacket. Musashigawa Girls Middle School Hikari Kiru. Oh yeah, this is one of Nana's friends. She did. So you'd better keep quiet. You better keep it to yourself. Yeah, that's true. So Yoshiki, don't do it. Do what Mayu did and just keep it a secret. There's something lying on the ground next to her body. It seems to be a glinting object that called attention to this room in the first place. Acquired the bottle. Oh yeah, this is the holy water. Why did I think it was Ayumi's name tag? The perfume. Yeah, well... If it's next to a girl, it very well could be. Good, this isn't gonna be a wrong ending. This is just perfect. What could go wrong here?
意外と揺れて登りにくいな。
Oh, here we go. After a split second of what seemed almost like weightlessness came a hard slam on the ground. And following momentarily afterward was the other end of the rope. Did the girls let go? Well, that's really high. It's like 10 meters high. So he's not going to be able to throw it back up. Fortunately, it happened while still fairly low to the ground, resulting in bruises, albeit painful ones, rather than broken bones. Well, that's why you should have hoisted one of them down. Wow. But I guess this is why it's a wrong ending. What? No response. Oh my god, she fell down in her. What happened up there? Ogasawara's body was simply going into repeated convulsions, and half her face had been smashed in like a watermelon. Her skull was clearly split wide open. What? Did Mire just start freaking out or something? Oh, never mind. Wow, what just happened to the game there? It just... Wow, that's a weird kind of death scream. Eeeeee! Oi! Suzumoto! Dosa! Nan-nan-da-yo! It must be one of the ghosts. It's probably the ghosts. They came. Well, okay then. Well, she's getting splattered right above you. Wrong end, is that it? Blood spilled from above as if someone were dumping a whole bucket full of it down the hole. And mixed in with his blood were various meat-like chunks of varying shapes and sizes. Mayu's chunks. Chunks that were clearly pieces of a person's body. Mayu's body. Is it weird that I really want to have, like, some barbecued meat after watching this? Okay, so for the next two endings, the wrong ending 5 and 6, we don't pick up the notebook that we find at the very beginning of the chapter as we're playing as Mayu. We continue through the game, and instead of going down the hole on the first floor, we decide to use the bandages to get across this gap on the second floor, because we don't have a way... Because we don't have a way of getting into the reference room, and so we don't meet Ayumi as she's freaking out, and it changes things. 机なんかロープ引っ張ったら動いちまうぞ。
そっか。教託はちょっとロープの長さが足りないかもしれないし。ロープを結びつけた机を入り口近くに移動させて。
Nana, you're a smart one. So they're gonna use the bandages as a rope to get across somehow. Like Yoshi's gonna jump across first, is what they said, and then they're gonna climb over it with the rope.
ロープが出る隙間だけ残してドアを閉めれば机はドアに引っかかって動かないと思います。
Okay, Nana, you're a smart one.
ドアを片側に寄せて二重にしとけばまず外れることなんてないし いけるかも。
Nana's a smart one. Even though Mayu and Yoshiki are older, Nana comes up with some good ideas.
よし。じゃあ、まず俺がロープ持って向こう側にジャンプするからな。
Go Yoshiki.
気をつけてね。
He's just the coolest guy.
この距離なら楽勝楽勝。
Child's play. You're so cool, Yoshiki.
よっと。
Oh, they're gonna make it look like he fell, but he didn't really fall.
と。ビビった。
Of course. Yoshiki always giving people heart attacks. Like, ah! Oh, I'm fine. Yeet! I'm fine.
大丈夫？死ぬま。
Oops.
その辺微妙に床板が脆いみてえだから気をつけろよ。
Yeah, like not jumping across big gaps would be a good start.
よし。鈴本、ロープを伝って順番にこっち来いよ。
ナナちゃん、私が先に渡るから後から来れる？
Good, just leave Nana behind. I think she should go next personally because she's younger.
はい、できると思います。
But Mayu's just like, no, I'm gonna go. I'm more important. Although I guess Mayu wanted to test it first, you know, that is nice of her.
どうした？
But you know, this is a wrong ending, so I totally think they're gonna leave Nana behind and someone's gonna come.
学生証落としちゃった。篠崎さんにもらった幸子さん人形の切れ端挟んであったのに。
You're gonna need that white scrap if you ever want to get out, but it's not like you're gonna get out anyways.
そんなもん後で下の階に拾いに行きゃいいだろう。それより危ねえからよ。
Oops, I keep on cutting off the voice acting, I'm sorry.
ナナちゃん、いいよ。来て。ロープしっかり掴んで気をつけてね。わかりました。
Oh no, it's Yoshikazu's hammer scraping. Ah! I knew it! I knew it!
あいつなんかやべえぞ。
Yeah, I don't think... What tipped you off, Yoshiki? Is it the blood, like, all over him, splattered? Or the blood coming from his eyes? Or the red eyes? Or the pale skin? The dark gray skin? What tipped you off?
ナナちゃん、急いでこっちに。
Yeah, hurry up. Because you know he's gonna go straight for your legs. I love those sound effects. For about as much time as it took a single shiver to run up and down a person's spine, the hallway was completely silent. Then, the moment Nana's foot left the floor on the other end of the hole, there was an abrupt, almost exaggerated spray of blood. Of course there's an exaggerated spray of blood. We're playing Corpse Party here. Duh. The back of the strange, bloody-eyed man's massive hammer had come down hard, roughly splitting through not only the rope, but both of Nana's legs as well. Of course. You know, I should use that sound as an alarm clock in the morning, because seriously, the sound of junior middle school girls' legs being, you know, severed off and then her screaming is just, that would wake me up in the morning. I really think so. More than anything, I wanted to look away. I wanted to look away from those desperate tear-filled eyes, that shocked, pained expression. Not to mention the sight of Nana's dangling torso with nothing at all left below the thighs, but at least she's got her thighs, so she can still have nice thighs. It's just she's gonna have a little stub there.
ロープ離すんじゃねえぞ。すぐに引き上げてやっから。鈴本、さっさと手貸せ。
Yeah, like seriously, what are you doing, Mayu? I mean...
足がナナちゃんの。
Yeah, well, we've seen a bunch of corpses here anyways. I mean, come on, you gotta save your friend. I mean, it's better to have Nana with no legs than not have her at all, okay?
バカ野郎、まだ生きてんだろうが。
This is why Yoshiki's the bomb. He's awesome.
助けても助けてあげても。
余計なこと考えんな。ちくしょう、なんだよ足くれ。俺が背負ってやら。
Oh, you're such a badass, Yoshiki. Definitely want to use that as an alarm clock.
ナナちゃん。そうだ、血を
決しなきゃ。
どけ。このロープで太もも縛って。くそ。ひでえ。
Sure is messed up. So they got Nana on the other side. Like, Nana's on the side that they're on right now. Yeah, let's get out of here. Good idea. Yoshiki, I wouldn't be provoking him like that if I were you. You know, he could just throw that hammer with pretty decent accuracy, I bet, across there, and he would really screw you guys up. I feel bad for Nana, but she does have some good screams. I give her screams a 9 out of 10. They're pretty good. Mayu, just do what they do on TV, just apply pressure and wrap it up. Because that's how you cure some severed legs. I would be so good in this situation. Yoshi, keep on fighting. That's right. You got the good attitude. What? Why'd you go to the toilet? Oh, I know what it's showing. Because we crossed the gap, which is like the other side of the school, but Yoshikazu's using the secret passageway to get to where we are. That's because he knows the secrets. He knows the secret ways of the school, okay? Yeah, we gotta run. That's a good idea. Let's run with Nana. Okay, so now there's a timer here, so to get wrong ending number 5, we just wait for the timer to run out. So we're just gonna sit here and be like, Yoshikazu, what's up, man? Oh, yeah, that 1-minute nap was fantastic. So I wonder, should we be escaping Yoshikazu right about now? Oh, no! Oh, microphone abuse. I just hit it. The bloody-eyed man raised his right leg, then quickly brought it down onto Nana's stomach, pinning her to the ground and forcing blood from her wounds. Oh, that's gross. Sound effects. A few stomps later, what looked to be gastric juices began spewing from Nana's mouth, and her momentary consciousness was cut short as she passed out. Again, at least she's passed out, as her gastric juices were spewing from her mouth. That's so gross. This didn't stop the man from continuing his stomping fit, however. He was putting his whole body weight into every blow. That's right, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it right. I could hear the sound of bones breaking. Nana's chances of survival were lessening with every passing moment, and they weren't good to begin with. Yeah, well, I think her chances of survival are pretty much at 0 right about now. Gastric juices are spewing, vomiting from her mouth as she's bleeding out of her leg stumps. Well, what could I do? I wanted to save her somehow, but I couldn't even move. That's right, fight till the end. Let's a fighting love. There's Yoshikazu. Hodor. Oh, Yoshiki tried to fight him. And now he's flying. Kishinuma's attempt to save Nana was short-lived. The bloody-eyed man swatted him back like a fly, and he immediately fell through a hole in the floor. Pikachu, go away. Don't zap me with your thunderbolts, okay? What? Oh, Yuki came in, so Sachiko sent Yuki in. Sachiko's like, Yuki, go play with them. Oh, wow, I see. I wonder if the child ghosts are gonna splatter Mayu like they did originally in the original corpse party. Because she's remembering this. She's like, I remember this.
ここで死ぬんだ。
Oh, they're gonna splatter her! Mayu! You're gonna get splattered again. Oh, I wanted to see some splatter. Oh, that's okay. It was still a pretty cool wrong end. I highly enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. Okay, so now in this ending, wrong end 6, instead of letting the timer run out, we just go to the lab. That's all we do. We go and hide in the lab like cowards. The science lab door is locked. Well, we have a key, so let's just open that up. The door is locked, but we got a key.
理科室なら確か鍵が。
Yeah, stop talking, the timer's going down. I love how the timer doesn't stop when the dialogue pops up. Come on, game, give me a chance.
よし、早く中に。
Okay, good. And now we're just on the path to wrong end 6. We don't gotta worry. But the timer's still... Okay, the timer's gone. I was worried. I was like, timer, stop it!
閉めたから。
とりあえずは安全か。
Yeah, that flimsy wooden door is gonna hold his big sledgehammer back. Yeah.
でもあのデカブツ、斧みてえの持ってやがったからな。ドアが破られる前に、こっちもなんか武器でも探さねえと。
We do have something. We can use Nana. Just put your hands right on where her legs are and we can just start swatting. Oh, that's creepy and horrible.
その前にナナちゃんの手当てを。何？
Oh no, did she die?
おい。
What? Oh no, there's probably another dead body in here. I don't think Nana would smell yet. Unless she, like, pooped herself. Because, you know, I wouldn't... She could have. Maybe. That's probably the smell. Ew, that's... Her legs are okay, but her head's all messed up. It's a dead body bound to a chair with wire by both its wrists and ankles. Based on height and uniform, this was most likely a junior high school girl. She seems to have had hot oil poured over her head, burning everything above her chest into a black and unidentifiable mess. The only discernible facial feature is a missing tongue, and that's only because its stump is still faintly visible through her broken front teeth. Ew. The wire around her wrists and ankles seems to have really dug into the skin too, suggesting she put up a hell of a fight before taking her final breath.
この制服、ナナちゃんと同じ。
Oh my god, it's the other girl that was with Nana, the third one, because the other one was dead down below in the hole that we saw. And now this one is, what's her name? Chihaya or something?
武蔵川女子中学校1年6組。
Oh no, Chihaya was the other one. This one's Nadi. Chihaya was the one that was in the hole. This one's Nadi. Nadi is the tough one. Chihaya was the wussy one.
あ、意識戻ってたのか。
ナナちゃん、見ちゃダメ。これ、何ちゃん。
Well, I'm not gonna lie, this is a low point in Nana's life. Her friend is dead, sitting in that chair over there, and she has no legs. That's a low point.
嘘だよ。こんなの。ナリちゃん、絶対みんなで脱出するって約束したのに。
I'm sure that she promised that you guys would all escape together safely too, and you don't have any legs, Nana.
こんなのって違う。絶対ナリちゃんなんかじゃ。
Lying to yourself is just gonna make it worse, okay? All these students inside Heavenly Host, they always lie to themselves. They're like, this can't be possible.
ナナちゃん、まだ他にも会いたい人が、友達や先輩が。
There you go.
もういないかもしれないよ。
Hi, Pikachu. Well, Yoshikazu came in here. He busted his way.
これなんだ？
Let's play a game. Let's do it. Why not? You got a smile on your face. It looks like you're ready for a game. Let's do it. It was a little girl with matted, oily black hair spilling down her shoulders and over her chest, and she was holding something under her arm. As she drew out the vowel in her sadistically playful question, she triumphantly flourished this object, revealing it to be a human head. It was a girl's head with a perfectly uniform bob framing her face. She looked like the quiet type. I wonder who she is. Her mouth was hanging half open, trails of blood stained onto her chin, and once again, the tongue was nowhere to be found. So in other words, she was kind of like this. Her mouth half open. Kind of like that. To paint a picture for you guys. Oh, it's Chihaya! This is Chihaya. They took her head. I thought Chihaya was the one down in the hole, so I guess maybe they went and grabbed her head.
これ千早ちゃんって言うんだ。
Or maybe she wasn't the one in the hole. I forget.
千早ちゃんは何度も何度も呼んでたよ。なーなちゃん。
Oh, Chihaya. She was the weak one. She was the weak-willed one. The innocent one, I should say, so...
なーなちゃん、私死んじゃった。どうして助けに来てくれなかったの？
I wonder if she's playing with the head, like opening it, like, nah, I'm dead now, why didn't you come and save me? She probably is. It's something that Sachiko would do. The girl in the red dress thrust her hand up into Chihaya's neck and was moving her mouth up and down while saying this, like a ventriloquist with a dummy. That's fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Nana, she's good at screaming. She's a good screamer. With those words, Nana lapsed back in unconsciousness on Kishinuma's back, never again to awaken. Now, she lost the will to live, obviously. As for me and Kishinuma, we knew the chase was over. There was nothing left to say. We just stood there petrified at the thought of what was yet to come. Well, that's it! Oh, I want to see some splatter. Oh, okay, that's... I guess we can just use our imaginations, though. It wouldn't open. And it wasn't like it was locked, rather it felt almost as if someone were holding it closed with superhuman strength. Well, Sachiko's mother is in this room with us, I bet. Oh shit, she's in here. Oh, that's creepy. Suddenly I realized why the door was wrapped multiple times over with thin black. It's, how had I not noticed these a moment ago? I looked at it a bit more closely and concluded without question that that's exactly what it was. I felt an unpleasant heat radiating all along my back muscles across my entire spine. I was being watched. There was some sort of moist, lukewarm presence in the room with me, and slowly but surely I could sense it moving. Who's behind me? I was too scared. No, you gotta dodge it, so you know, you gotta turn around. Shit. Oh, shit! It was a little girl wearing a red dress, probably a first or second grader. Her skin was as pale as pottery, contrasting with her lacquer-like hair, and she looked somehow familiar. Shit's gonna go down now, my friends. I knew Maya was still gonna die. But maybe she can still get out of this. I have faith in her. Mayu, I love you. I have faith in you, okay?
保健室がまだ殺風景なの。そうだ、人体解剖標本が欲しい。
Hey, Sachiko, there's other humans in here. You don't have to do Mayu. I'll find you someone else. Oh god, no! Oh, they're gonna do it together. Chit! Don't team up on me, 1 versus 1, one at a time, alright? I'll take you on 1 at a time. Well, guys, I have a bad feeling about this. Come on, take a corporeal form and let's duke it out. Fisticuffs, okay? No cheating. Fisticuffs. Something was dripping onto the back of my hand. What? That's what I thought at first anyways. If I'd started to cry, I wasn't aware, but considering what I was going through, it wouldn't have been surprising in any way. I wondered just how much I'd cried since getting sealed up in this godforsaken place. Probably more than I'd ever cried before in my entire life. But these weren't tears, were they? Was it blood then? Did these children do something to me? Sure enough, I reached up and touched my face, and my finger came in contact with something sticky. Something sticky and red. What did they do to you? Stop lying. Sachiko's answer was cold and disinterested, and came accompanied with a crooked wry smile. She was just a child, yet one glance from her made every hair on my body stand on end.
鏡で見てみたらどう？少しだけ待っててあげる。
Sachiko's face somehow made me feel as if might be two sides to her, one gentle one and one not. But regardless of which I was, there is actually, that's true. Just dealing with here, I wasn't about to go against her recommendation. I was legitimately curious about myself. Oh my god, what are we gonna find? So I took out my compact, opened it, and oh, it's just a cut. It's just I mean, that sucks. That sure sucks, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. The bruise I'd concealed with makeup had sprung back to the surface once again, though it could hardly be called a bruise anymore. My skin literally split open from inside, and blood was beginning to seep out through the pinkish fissure, bead by bead.
違わない、お前だよ。抗わなければ一瞬でいけたのにね。だけど残念。お前はそのお腹の亀裂の通りに散って死ぬのはもう決まっているんだ。
What? She's just gonna be like torn open from the previous wounds that she received? So there's like, it's like inevitable, you're gonna die regardless? Like those bruises will just eventually kill you, even if there's another way to escape. The bruise along my stomach and abdomen had followed suit, splitting open and dripping dark red blood everywhere. At this point, I'd completely lost any ability to think or reason. I was a goner and I knew it.
壁にぶつかって一瞬で死ぬよりももっと辛い。ゆっくりとした散り方で死になさい。
Oh my god. Yeah, last time she died really quickly. Like her head was looking up at her corpse. And she's like, oh, that's my corpse. But this is like, she's gonna be slowly torn apart. Oh! You know what, Sachiko, the way she said it, I actually kind of got a little bit excited for the autopsy. Yeah, I was a goner. I couldn't fight it. Somewhere deep in the pit of my soul, I knew there was no way out. This unimaginably cruel fate was predestined. I couldn't escape. Oh, sure, I tried to run. I squirmed and resisted with every last bit of strength I had. But fate had me by the ankle, and it wasn't about to let go. That's a really weird way to describe it. It's like, she went from, like, freaking out to be like, well, guess that was a gunner. Yeah, I just decided it was a gunner. What ifs, you know? It's what ifs, it's a gunner. If only I could force myself to lose consciousness, maybe I could avoid the unbearable agony that I knew was coming, but sadly, I wasn't that strong-willed. I could feel the hands of children all over my body coming with virtually every direction, coming from them they were really digging. Not gonna lie, it looks like the children are having a lot of fun, like they're playing with a toy or something, but they're like ripping Mayu apart, so it's not cute. See, this is, oh god, remember that when these people die, they have, like, eternal torment of how they died. So she's gonna have eternal torment of being, like, ripped apart by, like, a bunch of kid ghosts. That's, ugh.
来ない来ないシゲニーなんて来やしないんだよ
I was seized with a pain unlike anything I'd ever even imagined possible before. I couldn't talk, couldn't move, couldn't even think. I felt like my head was going to explode under the pressure of the millions of nerves, all telling my brain just how much every part of my body hurt, and it didn't stop. Every moment it grew worse and worse. Then I began to drift away. Damn it, why do all the good ones have to go? See, like, I really like Seiko, and because of this chapter, I was like, man, Mayu is so cool too. And now this kid is fuck, ow!
ひどい匂いその辺の廊下にでも飾っておこうかこの標本
At least they're gonna use her body for good. They're gonna decorate the place a little bit. Because I was thinking this place could use a few
学校が
decorations.
どんどん賑やかになっていくな
Sachiko's voice sounded like it was far in the distance. It was then that I realized the agony I'd been feeling had changed. It was no longer pain, but chill. I didn't hurt anymore. It was just cold. She's like, I was so chill. So cold that I couldn't even feel my body.
寒い。ものすごく寒いよ。しげに。もう指一本動かない。私が死んで惨めな死体になっても嫌いにならないでくれる。しげに。
Of course she loves him.
私ね。
And she's like, don't look at my body. That's the thing, is she says, like, don't think ill of me because of how my body is. But Shig, like, took a picture of her body, and that's why he commits suicide. He's like, oh my god, it's her. Because she's like, don't look at my body. My final wish is that Shig should be the one to find my body. Yeah, he does, and he takes a picture of it. As long as it's not too revolting to look at anyway. I want him to think I'm pretty. I miss him. You're just gonna be splattered on the wall. Shig, bro. Anyways, wow, that's the ending to chapter number 2 of Corpse Party. This game is so happy. Okay, so in this chapter there's no real gameplay except for a few choices, so the... Okay, so in this chapter there's no real gameplay, there's just choices that we have throughout the chapter, and the first one we have is either stand at the teacher's podium or leave the room, and so all we do is leave the room.
ダメダメ。ここは遊んでないでとっとと学校を出るべきだよね。
That's right, let's get out of here. I decided it would be best to put my yearnings aside and leave the classroom behind, because she wanted to stand at the teacher's podium because she wants to feel like a teacher, because that's what she wants to do.
七不思議だなんてやっぱり迷信じゃない。
I couldn't believe I've gotten all indignant with Tsukasa over something so trivial. Oh yeah, she wanted to find her lucky pencil, or the lucky pencil that Tsukasa had given her. Thinking about it now, it seemed kind of ridiculous.
さてと、家に帰ろうか
She's
な。
like, I don't even care about it. I don't need it. That's what I told her before she came to the school, because she heard the creepy story.
今日は明日に備えて早く寝なくちゃ。
She heard the creepy story about Yoshie who wanders through the hallways after 7, but she's like, no, I need my lucky pencil, even though she was completely terrified about it. With this in mind, I walked toward the classroom door and took one step out into the hall. When suddenly... What? Oh, what? What happened? The door slid shut on its own with incredible force and my neck was trapped in the narrow opening that remained. Oh, this escalated quickly. I dug my nails into the door, frantically trying to open it back up. But the more I pushed on it, the more it pushed back, further constricting my neck. Why am I laughing? I shouldn't be laughing. I was flailing my limbs, twisting and contorting my body, trying everything I could to escape.
なんで
My neck was clamped tightly, I could feel the blood rushing to my head. Well, your superstitious belief about Yoshie wandering the hallways is true after all. I couldn't breathe, opening my mouth in terror. I stuck my tongue out as if trying to swallow the air. Although I'm just imagining her being like, Oh, them sound effects. Forcefully shaking my head left and right, I swiveled my body to face the ceiling. That's when I saw the tall, pitch-black silhouette of a person. Yoshie / the Crooked Woman. A silent scream squirmed its way out of my throat, but the door was still pressing onto my neck. Ah, he's not gonna come for you. You died too. My vision whirled and I felt a sensation of falling at the same time a lukewarm liquid began pouring over my face. Did her head get severed? As I was struggling to make sense of what was happening to me, the door that had been violently crushing my neck quietly slid open. The floor of the schoolhouse came down hard on my head, my vision had gone white and begun blurring, but I could still see. I shouldn't be laughing, that's gross. I was rolling across the hallway, and there in the doorframe I caught sight of my own headless torso collapsing in a heap on the floor.
何が起こったの
Your head got severed, but she's having her last moments of brain activity. The last thing I saw out of the corner of one bloodshot, unfocusing eye was the familiar figure of the old woman from... What? The old woman from this morning. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. How soon I forget these things. The old woman that was collapsed. Oh my god, yeah. I know. I know. Okay, so the next ending is the second decision of the chapter, where we can choose to hide in the supply locker or the teacher's podium, and we're gonna go to the supply locker, which is the wrong answer. I hurriedly squeezed myself into the metal locker where the classroom's cleaning supplies were kept. It was still pitch black in the room, so I really couldn't spare the time it would take to remove its contents. Instead, I just contorted myself to fit. I have a bad feeling about this. Uh-oh. The locker was thick with the smells of mold and varnish. She's just gonna suffocate in there? So I waited for the footsteps to pass by and fade into the distance, signaling that it was safe to emerge. She's gonna suffocate in here. Still, it felt a lot safer in the locker than it did out in the room. But the footsteps weren't receding. They were just getting louder, closer, faster. Really? Ratata? Do footsteps sound like ratata? I think thump, 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 thump. But ratata. Okay, whatever. Ratata. Ratata. Ratatat. And then they came to a sudden halt. They were close, just outside the locker. I peered through the ventilation holes amidst the utter darkness of the classroom. There wasn't a soul to be seen. Are you sure about that? That's gonna be fine. That's like putting the covers over your head and expecting, you know, the monsters not to get you, even if there's a monster right in front of you. I'm not sure why I believed that. Maybe because I needed to. Maybe because it was so dark, or because I felt so much calmer in such a tight space where nothing could possibly sneak up behind me. I didn't know why, and I didn't care. I just knew that, as far as I was concerned, I was safe in here. So I stood motionless and cramped, and I waited. I didn't have to wait long. Uh-oh, maybe you're locked in here now. Suddenly apprehensive, I gently nudged the supply closet door just to make sure it would still open for me when I wanted it to. Oh, okay, she's trapped in you. And now Yoshi has trapped you inside. I let out a sudden yelp at this unknown voice and tried with all my might to push open the door, blocking my escape. Oh, see, you tried to hide from her, and then now you just let your position be known. Although at this point, maybe she doesn't think it's a ghost. There was a brief moment of silence following the eerie voice's unsettling proclamation. And then... crash! Crunch! The metal walls around me on all four sides began warping inward as if the supply locker had somehow been fed into a trash compactor. Holy shit. There was no force. I could imagine that should have been able to do this, but it was happening. This already confined space was steadily closing in on me. Crash! Crunch! The collapse of the locker all around me continued slowly and steadily. I could feel all manner of things pushing and cutting into my body. Oh, Yui's got a pretty good scream, too. I rate hers, maybe an 8 out of 10. It was too short. My vision went bright red. One of the blood vessels in my eyes probably burst from the pressure. I wasn't going to last much longer. The ventilation holes in the locker door were now pressed right up against my face, and through them I could just barely make out the figure of a person. It was the old woman from this morning. She was standing just outside the slats, staring right into my eyes. Well, that was a pretty good scream. I'm gonna give that one a 9 out of 10. It was the last sight I would ever see as the locker finally inevitably smashed in my skull. Crash, crunch, crack, splat. Okay, so at the third decision, instead of making a break for it, we're just gonna stay hidden. That's gonna lead us to a bad ending. But it only took a moment for that decision to come back and bite me. Of course, you can't just hide from your fears. You gotta face them head on sometimes. My body was suddenly weighed down. In an instant, without knowing what was happening, my fetally positioned form was essentially locked in place. It was like a boulder had fallen on top of me and was resting on my arched back. I twisted and shuffled myself around, trying to shake it off, but the more I struggled, the heavier it became. And what's more, it felt like it was slowly inching its way up toward my head, as if it were planning on dropping down in front of my face. Was this a person? It was a female voice, reverberating ominously as if bubbling up from the depths of hell. I squirmed violently, desperate to throw her off of me. That sounds fun. Sounds fun, why not? Not that kind of tag. I give that scream a 7 out of 10. You could have tried harder. My vision went red, or at least it felt that way. Whoever was on my back had dug her razor-sharp fingernails right into my eyes. Ouch. I collapsed on the spot. The pain was instantaneous and unbearable. I could no longer hold my position. I could no longer focus on anything but this agony. That was a better scream. It sounded more painful. Why am I bad? Is it because I'm here after school hours and you just want to punish me because of that? The pain shot through my head in waves. It was indescribable, unthinkable. I couldn't take it any longer. My consciousness faded and I was gone. Because Miss Yui, she was a good student. She wasn't a bad student. And who are you anyways, Santa Claus? I would never know exactly what had happened to me, but maybe I was better off that way. Well, there is red on the screen. She could very well be Santa Claus, or maybe Mrs. Claus. Okay, so at this point we either take the broom or let the timer run out, and then we automatically go to another bad ending. So let's just wait, let's just meditate. Sing, bing, la ba, la big. Uh-huh. When I looked over, the spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the door frame. She really was trying to catch me. I wasn't just being paranoid, she was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced this had to be Yoshie, the teacher from that urban legend. I had the sudden sensation of someone seizing me by the throat, accompanied by an unpleasant crunching sound. God, she really did have me by the throat. I couldn't breathe. For as old and frail as she looked, she was uncommonly strong. You're creepy, Yoshie. You know what? If you take one alphabet away from her name's Yoshi. She was actually gripping me so tightly that she'd managed to raise me off the ground by my neck. I could see her slender, bony hand in the periphery of my vision and feel it cutting into my trachea. Was that hand really holding me in the air against my will, kicking and flailing by just the tissue and bones of my neck? I couldn't struggle anymore. I was like a puppet on a string. She loves to play games. You're a character, Yoshi. Jeez. Bad games. With a sudden crack, my field of vision shifted 90 degrees and everything turned blood red. Oh yeah, because her neck is broken, so she looks like the Crooked Man, if you know, like that. She just wants everyone to match like her. Understandably so, you know, when you're the odd one out, sometimes you want to join in with others, but if you can't, you gotta make the others join you. I understand. Okay, so for this ending, we gotta run somewhere else instead of breaking the glass. So let's run away. Stray, let's get out of here. Or maybe I could hide somewhere and throw Yoshie off my trail. That's not gonna work. Yoshie is like a pro. She knows the school in and out, I bet. But I mean, it is why it's a wrong ending. We chose wrong on purpose. I had no particular destination in mind. My only thought was anywhere but here. After maybe 30 seconds, I found myself in the second floor hallway. There was an outside corridor connecting the two buildings of the school there, and it was the first alternate escape route that came to mind. Naturally, it was walled off from the outside for safety purposes, but the wall wasn't so big that I couldn't scale it in a pinch. I didn't really want to jump from the second floor of the school, but if I had to, I was confident that I'd at least survive the fall with a minimal injury. Yeah, that works. I climbed the wall faster than I thought possible and dropped down to the narrow ledge on the other side. It was just wide enough to sit down. My back was to the hallway, but my location should have been completely hidden from anyone inside the school. I looked down at the muddy ground below me. But you know, Yoshi, she's kind of different than normal people, because she's dead and she's a ghost. I really couldn't see much, though the outside was completely dark. It was so dark that it felt almost like the whole world had been draped in a black veil. But you know, she's probably tied to the school. She probably can't leave the school, so... I opened the pen case in my pocket and pulled out the pencil I received from Tsukasa. That didn't come up. Tsukasa. Okay, Tsukasa, was I really treating the stubby little pencil as a protective charm? Tsukasa said it would guarantee success on my test, not ward off evil spirits, but you never know. Still, it was better than nothing. I clutched it tightly in my hands and prayed. It's a lucky pencil, so maybe you're gonna have good luck and the ghost will just not be able to find you. I need a lucky pencil like that. I whispered the words so quietly that I might as well have been mouthing them, but that seemed to be all the opening the damn spirit needed. Oh, Snow, you whispered, really? Really? You made a noise? Well, that was dumb of you. I sensed a presence on the ledge with me and was so startled that I almost fell from my perch. Well, you may as well just jump now. It's better than whatever is gonna happen when she catches you. That's not gonna help you either. However, I could only sense her there. I didn't actually see her and thought for one brief moment that maybe I was letting my imagination run wild. But then I felt a horrible sensation of something coiling itself around my arm. Hello, crooked woman. Before I knew it, a tall, shadowy figure had half emerged from the wall behind me, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct, flickering silhouette, but I could clearly see she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? Her scraggly, root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue and pressing right on the bone. Yeah, because one apparition is the lady that we saw on the ground earlier that died. One apparition is Yoshie. They're different. Why, Yoshi? Why? I was shaking hysterically and tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. You are going to die here. I could offer no resistance. She was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. I felt like my arm would snap into at any moment. Well, Yoshie, if you treat me right, maybe. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. Stopping it had become my first and only priority. Stab her with the pencil. I struggled violently against the spirit's grip, ultimately breaking free by throwing my body off the wall toward the unseen earth below. In the face of death, everything really does seem to slow down. I'd read somewhere that this is because the brain is sending out all kinds of distress signals or something. Slow motion or not, though I was fully aware of my surroundings, I was cascading through the air just outside my school building. Reach out hands or pray upon the pencil. I don't think it really matters what we do here, so I'm just gonna pray upon the pencil. If this is a dream, please let me wake up from it right now. Those were the words echoing through my head as I clutched Tsukasa's pencil tight against my bosom, like a prayer talisman. This is really gonna work as we're flying through the air. Moments later, I crashed into the ground, and a horrible squelching sound echoed in my ears. My neck was... Oh, her neck's broken just like Yoshie. Tsukasa's pencil had pierced deep into my... Oh my god. Oops. Lucky pencil my ass. Blood was spurting everywhere. I was practically drowning in it. I'd landed right on it, and it wasn't long before I gasped my final gasp. That was funny. Oh my god, that was sorry. I laugh at the worst times in this game, don't I? He and I had run from Yoshie together. We escaped her wrath against insurmountable odds. And what if that wasn't all just a dream? I followed Tsukasa's pointing finger and... Ooh, they're holding hands. Oh my god.
ここでよく夕日を眺めてるんだけどさ、朝日もいいもんだな。
綺麗だよ。街がオレンジに染まっていく。
So romantic. Chicka chicka bow wow. I prepared a mattress over here, Yui. Let's use it.
お、元気出
Did I
て
kill the mood?
ここって司くんの言ってた例の場所だよね。
おう、うん。
今まで絶対に教えてくれなかったのに、どうして今日は。
I wonder if Tsukasa does remember it, but he doesn't. He wants to try to like convince Yui that it was all just a dream so that she doesn't freak out. It could be it.
別に
It could be it. It could be
なん
it.
となくって。
I could think of a reason, but I didn't say anything. It just seemed kind of far-fetched to me, and if I were misinterpreting him, I'd be very embarrassed. He couldn't possibly, could he? He remembers. He totally remembers, and he's just doing this for her sake. He is a smart guy. My face felt kind of warm. I placed the sweaty cafe au lait on my cheek and sighed softly.
どうした？顔赤いぞ。
そう
まだ具合悪いんじゃないのか？
そんなことないよ。ほら、朝日が赤いせい。
ああ、なるほどな。
Boys can be so dense sometimes.
試験頑張れよ。
I'm dense.
今からすぐ戻って準備すれや間に合うだろ。
Do you want to know where I'm dense? Right here! Oh, okay. That was so lame.
ありがとう。司くんのそれ好き。
え？
それと、あとごめんね。
なんで謝るの？
he doesn't even think much of it.
いや、昨日ほら、なんかちょっと気まずくなっちゃったし、七不思議の。
They were Yui, you freaked out.
ああ、そんなこともあったっけ？
Oh, she's gonna be angry because it seemed like so important to her, but to him he's like, oh really? That happened?
そんなこともって私は結構気にしてたんだけどな。
女子はほんと細かいこと気にするよな。俺は全然何とも思ってなかったのに。
そっか。
I let out another sigh and turned back toward the morning sun, stretching my arms skyward as a sudden wave of exhaustion overcame me. The day got brighter bit by bit, and I just stood there silently trying to piece together all the jumbled thoughts rattling around in my head. I was running away from Yoshie, and Tsukasa was with me. When then I was saved by that old woman.
やっぱり夢。
Oh, Tsukasa, you're a good guy. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. As the bright rays of the sun washed over me, I felt new life and new hope welling up from within, and I finally came to terms with those horrid events. Most likely I got the pen case without incident, but then on my way back, something hit my head and knocked me out. That would be just my
あ、
luck.
ちょっとシシド、動くなよ。そのまま。
I didn't know what he was planning to do, but he was staring right at me. It felt kind of like he was staring into my soul. And then... Slowly, Tsukasa drew his face toward mine. Yes!
これ
No, he's not. Tsukasa's not like that. He's gonna do something else. Like, oh, you got an eyelash there or something.
シシド。
嘘。何？
I shut my eyes. I was ready for this. Or maybe I just didn't want to look. But the next sensation I felt wasn't quite the one I was expecting.
シシド、これ大丈夫か？
He'd grabbed my arm for some reason and was staring down at it intently.
何よ、紛らわしいな。で、やだ、何これ。
What? Turns out he was just concerned by the strange bruise I had apparently received, which had momentarily become visible when I raised my arms. It was right around my elbow. Right where Yoshi had grabbed me in my dream.
痛そうだな。
全然痛くないけど。
けど？
なんでもないよ。
Maybe he doesn't remember then. Giving a wry smile, I gently pulled my arm from his grip.
司くん。
ん？
帰る前に一つお願いがあるんだけど。
なんだよ。
手繋いでもいい？
You were holding hands, but I guess they weren't. This is just a CG image, so now they're gonna hold hands.
手？
手。ダメか。
Oh, I skipped that,
っていう
oops.
彼の言葉にはなんとなくと
そっと指先を掴んだだけ
Young
の
love.
軽いものだったけ
So
ど、
beautiful.
初めて私はお互いの心がつながっているのを感じた気がして。
Young love is so beautiful. So beautiful.
ふーん。
Now we're back in the future. What happened to him then, huh?
ゆい先生、ゆい先生。ゆい先生。
She's laughing creepily. Like, I can't even imagine what kind of dream she's having. She's having a very sexual dream of Tsukasa. I know I'd heard that voice before, but who was it? Was I just dreaming again? I still felt like I was holding Tsukasa's hand, though. Oh my god, so Satoshi and Tsukasa are very similar. Their voices are similar. I think it's the same voice actor, isn't it?
やっと起きた。
あら？え？持田くん？
そうだよ、持田聡だよ。
She's so disappointed. She's like, ah, shit. I was still dazed. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was that one of my students, Satoshi Mochida, was here and he looked concerned.
ゆい先生、いい加減手を。
I finally realized what he was talking about. I was holding Mochida's hand in my own and squeezing it awfully tightly.
やだ！ごめんなさい。私したら。
いいけどさ、ゆい先生、結構握力。
She's got that bruise on her arm. You can see it.
あら、そう？これでも昔はか弱く儚い美少女として巷に名を馳せたものだけど。
それどこから突っ込んでいいの？
手厳しいわね。
Mochida was a good student. He and I got along well, and we were already falling back into our usual pattern of good-natured ribbing. Except...
ちょっと待って。どうして持田くんがうちにいるの？
それさっき話したじゃん。
え？
はあ、その調子じゃ何も覚えてないんでしょ。
何も？
Well, you fell into him and kind of showed your panties a little bit.
さっき俺の作ったおかゆ食って薬飲んでまた寝たじゃないか。本当に綺麗さっぱり覚えてない？
全然。
She sounds okay.
笑えないよ。もう。
Mochida sighed and pointed at the table.
あれ、山崎先生からの届け物。
もしかしてわざわざそれを届けに。
Of course he likes you. Your students love you, Shishiro.
そうだ。
Shishiro sensei.
そしたらゆい先生があんまりにひどい状態だったから飯作って。
Oh, you're so nice. Come on, thank him.
あ、キッチン借りていいって言ったのはモネだから。
そっか、モネちゃんがね。
I stroked Monet's neck and he lied down contentedly on my futon. Such a pretty kitty. I was getting kind of wrapped up in petting him, as I often did. I almost forgot Mochida was here until he let out a huge
ゆ
sigh.
い先生、玄関の鍵は閉めないと不用心だよ。
あら、開いてた？
うん。今回ばかりは開いてて助かったけど。
Wow, he's lecturing her, huh?
なんで笑うの？
持田くん、私のお母さんみたいだから。
うわ、複雑。
Sato should be like, call me Big Papa, okay, from now on. I didn't mean to laugh. I must have seemed kind of deranged, but I could always blame it on the fever. Yui, you're underhanded, okay? Mochida looked at me and let out another sigh. My poor sense of humor must have been getting to him.
でもまあ、だいぶ元気になってきたみたいでよかったよ。
そうみたい。
結構寝てたもんな、ゆい先生。
そうね。確か今朝風邪でめまいがして、学校にお休みの電話をして、モネちゃんのご飯を用意して。
あれ、コンビニ行ったんじゃないの？
コンビニ？
うん。冷却シートと弁当があって、
Oh, what? Don't tell.
ほらこれ。レシートの時間。
本当だ。
もしかしてゆい先生。うわー、もうしっかりしてくれよ。まさか。
そんなことはないと思うけど。
どうかな。
Or Tsukasa did it and he came back and he's really stalking her.
笑ってごまかさない。
Because he's like, you know what, I've always loved you. She's like, no, but we decided we're gonna call it quits. I love you. And it's really
ごめ
creepy.
んごめん。持田くん、私のことずっと看病してくれてたの？
うん。
そう。遅くまでごめんなさいね。
It was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. I couldn't believe Mochida had been with me this whole time. I felt both guilty and grateful, and I definitely gained a new respect for
おか
him.
ゆ、まだちょっと残ってるから、腹減ったら食べてよ。
ええ。
あとそれから、これ。
スーパーの袋？
冷蔵庫を見たら何もなかったからさ。
え？
The bag was quite heavy. Inside it was a bottle of orange juice, some bananas, canned peaches, apples, and other assorted fruits.
これ？
風邪の時ってビタミンを取るといいんだろう。それ食べて早く良くなってよ。
He's smart. I drink orange juice and drink drink oranges and eat oranges when I'm sick too, and it works.
持田くん。
Everyone loves Mochida. She's like, oh my god, I love you, but you're my student. Scandalous! That much fruit couldn't have come cheap, especially for a high schooler. I considered offering to pay him back, but decided against it. I knew he wouldn't take my money, and besides, I really appreciated the fact that he'd gone to all this trouble for me. I'd return the favor another time. If it ever seemed like he was going to be staying late after school, maybe I'd buy him dinner. Or I could help him with preparations for the school festival.
じゃあ俺帰るよ。
I have a newfound respect for Satoshi too. This game is making me like some of the characters that I didn't really like before, except for Naomi. I definitely don't like her after this.
あ、大丈夫？道わかるかしら？なんなら途中まで見送りに行くわよ。
大丈夫だよ。ゆい先生はおとなしく寝てて。まだ本調子じゃないんだし。第一、夜道を女の人一人で歩くなんて。
Satoshi, then again, Satoshi does just seem like he's like, has main character syndrome where it's like, he's perfect. It's like he could never do any wrong. Whereas I like Yoshi because he does have some flaws, but he's still really strong.
持田くんは優しいね。そういうとこキュンとしちゃう。
あれ？そういうこと俺に言っていいの？
なんで？
Mochida and I joked like this a lot. Usually it made him blush and get adorably embarrassed. But not today. Today he just grinned sheepishly with a mischievous glint in his eyes. I didn't quite get it. What was his angle?
司くんって先生の恋人？
どうしてそれ？
ゆい先生寝てるときずっとその人のこと呼んでたよ。うなされながら何度も司くん司くんって。
Ah ha ha, now you have some blackmail.
誰なんだよ。
That crafty Mochida had turned the tables on me, and how embarrassing to know that I'd been calling out Tsukasa's name.
それは。
I hesitated to answer for a moment, but then figured, what the hell, why not?
司くんはね、私の初恋の人。
その様子じゃ、ゆい先生はよっぽどその人のことが好きだったんだね。
Yeah, what happened though?
だって先生さすごかったよ。俺のこと司って人と間違えてたでしょ。
やだ。
ゆい先生、顔赤いよ。
これは熱のせいよ、きっと。
まあいいや。そういうことにしてあげる。
もうあんまり大人をからかわないで。
だってこんなゆい先生めったに見れないからさ。
I wasn't sure he was ever going to give me the full story of all the embarrassing things I'd done in my fever days, and maybe it was better he didn't. Either way, I was in his debt, so he could tease me all he wanted just this once.
やばい。そろそろ帰らないと。ゆかがカンカンだ。
今日はありがとね。もう暗いから気をつけて帰るのよ。
はーい。それじゃあ先生、食事をきちんととって頑張って。
うん、頑張る。
ファイト
ファイトー。
ありがとう。いい子だな、持田くんは。あの子は生徒だぞ。
She kinda likes him.
おいで、モネちゃん。一緒に寝よっか。会いたいな、司くん。
And I'm assuming that's going to be the end of the chapter. Okay, hide inside. You know what? In the first game, we hid under the blood-soaked table, and that got away. So I'm going to choose under the blood-soaked table. Yes, not the cabinet, because in the cabinet, I think someone got seen in the cabinet. So no. Exactly, and my instincts tell me from the first game that under the table is the best place, not the cabinet. That's because he's really tall and he doesn't look there, and he goes inside the cabinet a lot. That's why. Because in the first game he went inside the cabinet, didn't he? She is freaking out.
背の低い机の下に身を潜め、足音が部屋を通り過ぎてくれることを祈る。だけどよくよく考えると、この部屋の電気をつけたのがこの足音の主なら、この部屋に用があるってことになる。悪い方に考えると、どんどん頭の中が真っ黒になっていく。
Yep, obviously. You know, luckily she didn't start talking like, "Hello, is anyone there?" Because that's a really stupid horror trope that I've seen horror people do, so... Sorry, I'm cutting off the voice acting a lot today. I don't know why, I'm just... My finger is a trigger finger. I don't mean to, I'm trying to get it all in there. He's like, I'm cosplaying a tiger. No, this was the right decision. It was the right decision. I know it. Oh, she's gonna get oh no, girl's gonna get like killed on top of the table. The blood's gonna like splatter down onto her, isn't it? I wonder if this is... This could be her. This might be her. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to listen for the voice acting. I've only heard pants and screams and stuff, but I think this is the girl from Chapter 2 who was with Mayu and Yoshiki and Ayumi. The one from the elementary school. Not elementary school. What was her name? Nina? Was it Nina? I think her name was Nina. I think her name was Nina. I think it's her. She's the one who got her legs basically destroyed. You know, you screamed. Uh-oh.
かよくわからないもの、ゾッとするようなものが入ってきたような。
That was a bad idea on my part. There we go, he's cosplaying as a tiger, I knew it. You're doing a pretty good job with the
その
vocals.
姿だけど、現実離れした顔も異常に大きな体も私の想像をはるかに超えて恐ろ。
He sure was. I like it how she's thinking about this while he's like gonna go apeshit on her. There's no word strong enough. You're as scared as there are grains of sand in the universe.
足や手をバタつかせて必死に暴れる。でも男の腕の力は強く、びくともしない。掴まれた喉も、もし男が力を込めたら即座に握りつぶされそうな予感があった。
This is definitely bad ending material. When the screen goes black and there's just text on the screen, it's bad ending material. We're dead. We're dead. Yeah, Mr. Tiger, just kill us.
男は掴んでいた私の首ごと体を引っ張り、乱暴に部屋の中央に投げ出した。喉に集中しているいろんな繊維質がクリッと音を立てて擦れ合う。息が詰まって呼吸する穴も潰れ。
Okay, your voice is screwed. Oops.
姿勢を上げたかと思うと、男はそのまま部屋の出口へ走り出した。
What? Did I escape that? Really?
そして通路に飛び出し振り返ると、出口の重い鉄扉に手をかけた。
Sachiko's like, it's not time for her to go. We need to traumatize her more first.
閉じ込められる。瞬間的にそう思った。慌てて出口へ駆け出す私に、
Okay, so we're stuck in here.
ひっくり返された机の表側に器具で両手首を固定された女の子が囚われていた。
Well, if Saika's not mentioning her lack of legs, then maybe this isn't her after all. It must have been Nina or something. Started with an N, right? Oh, that sucks.
それから何日経っただろう。
Days?
血の匂いの充満した真っ暗な部屋。一緒にいた女の子もずいぶん前から何も喋らなくなった。
Well, she's dead then.
匂いも寒さも痛みも感じない。私生きてるのかな。
That's a horrible thought.
ここから出して。
So let's go inside the cabinet then.
足音が迫ってきている。私は部屋の奥の大きな
Let's do it. Even though I thought that was gonna be wrong, but whatever.
開いてよ。扉は難なく開いた。しかも勝手に閉じてくれる。
No time for second guessing. Whatever, it's the right decision. I have already made the wrong one.
お尻から体を棚の中に押し込めて、閉まりかけの扉に指をかけ、
No, don't.
狭い棚の中に身を潜め、足音が部屋を通り
But it's not
過ぎ
gonna
て
happen. I already know he comes in here. I already know it does.
よく考えると、この部屋の電気をつけたのが
Yeah, you already said that in the other one. Rapidly, my thoughts grew dark. Worst case scenarios. Yeah, she's already said that when she was under the table. That's why I'm skipping it. I grasped my quivering mouth violently in a vain attempt to calm myself down. I clenched my eyes shut. Willing sounds otherwise have leaked out. I think this is new.
助けて。
Okay, here we go. We get to see. That's cool.
部屋の中の様子が伺えた。通り過ぎてと願った私の祈りを蹴散らすように、部屋の中に誰かが。
I want to see the girl to confirm my suspicions if it's her or not.
部屋に入ってきたそれは異様なものだった。人というよりはなんだかよくわからないもの。いや、確かに人の姿だけど。
Yeah, I know. You've already said that stuff.
その男は
Yeah.
の中央にあるあの血まみれの。
Yeah, I know. There we go. That is her. It's totally her.
女の子が苦しげなうめき声を上げて覚醒する。まだひどい。
Yep, that's her. Her legs were severed at the thigh and she was dragged along the ground. Ugh.
されている。男が女の子の上に馬乗りになって机についている高速具のようなもので。
We're gonna witness the rest of her death.
左腕と
Because we didn't see what happened to her at the end of chapter. She just got dragged away.
待って、何をする気なの。
Oh, he's gonna do some horrible things. Guys, get some popcorn. Oh shit. Or maybe we just shouldn't even go in this room then. Yes! Good. Sometimes you just need the right tool for the job of dismembering little girls. Hammers and drills. Game, you're silly. Ah, if I had hidden under that table, way to rub it in my face, game. Pliers. It's not good. He's gonna take out something. Oh, is he like... He's trying to like pierce her cheek? Is he gonna pull out her teeth? He's pulling out her teeth. That's great. Skillfully. He's done this before. He's a pro. You know what, Yoshikazu, or whatever your name is, I always mix it up. If you should just leave Heavenly Host and you could become a dentist. You know, you could start your life anew. Oh, oh no. Well, she had to go to the bathroom, and I guess, you know, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Okay, get it all out. Oh, you know, I thought when she said stop, she meant for the teacher to stop pulling out her teeth, but she's just thinking about her pee-pee. But I guess, yeah, if the pee dribbled out, then he'd know that someone was in there.
こんなひどい経験。男は足元にあったアルミの
Oh, he took out the tongue! Oh, yeah, he wasn't grabbing the teeth. That's so stupid of me. Of course he's taking out the
工
tongue.
具置き場に乱暴に投げつけると
Because that's how he kill, or that's what he did to kill the other elementary school students originally. Huh.
下の入ったバケツを持って部屋の外へゆっくりと消えていった。人が死んだ。殺された。
You know what? Because when you do pull out someone's tongue, there's a main artery in there, and basically, if you get your tongue severed, if you don't get it treated immediately, you're gonna bleed out and die. If you get your tongue pulled out, that's it. And she's already had her legs mashed off with a hammer.
でもこのままいたらまたあいつがやってきて見つかったら今度こそ殺されるかもしれない。
Well, we found out what happened to her.
ここを離れようと。女の子はピクリとも動かない。生きているようにしか見えないのにマネキンのように動かない。じっと見ていると私の脳と心の判断が噛み合わずに
Oh, that sucks what happened to her. I'm
胃
sorry.
袋の奥から湧き溢れてくる悲鳴を必死に噛み殺して私はこの部屋を後にした。
Ugh. But at least we now know her fate. There's no what ifs anymore. She's dead. I swear her name is Nina, but I forget.
現実だと理解するには私のリアルを超越しすぎている。
Well, where are we gonna go now?
だんだんと飽和状態になってきた。
Of course, you're darkening, that's why. Now is not gonna help you. But I'm gonna do my best.
何日経っただろう。
Days passed? Holy crap.
途中で携帯の電源が切れて時計も止まって私の中で時が消えても
Okay.
何も食べてない何も飲んでないもう何回も眠っているから
Wow, so she's been stuck here for a really long time.
ポケットにはお母さんがくれたチョコが入っている。でもこれは私とお母さんをつなぐ大事なものに思えて
Yeah, that sucks that you were teleported into the bomb shelter. That's the worst place to be teleported into, because it's a place that the teacher Yoshikazu will definitely be coming to and from. Where other parts in the school, there's a chance you can evade him, but here, you'd really have to try to evade him. Pshh.
私たちの友情は
Oh, this is where she gets caught, isn't it? Oh, there she is. This is the beginning where she's being dragged. Bye, Sayaka. Oh, Sachiko, I don't want to hear your jokes.
おいしい
Okay, that is a little funny, actually. She's like, that's really important to you. It represents the bond between you and your mom. That's right, your feelings are delicious. Nah. Okay, so we're back here in the underground, so we're not gonna run away. We're just gonna wait here.
もしかしたら黒崎か東子たちが
Good, let's wait.
こっち助けてこっちに怪我人がいるの
The footstep drew closer and closer, and then finally the figure making them came into view.
すみません私白檀高等学校の生徒で
Hi there, mister, with red eyes and blood pouring from them and torn up shirt with a big hammer. Hi there.
何言ってんのこいつがまともな人間に見えるの山本美月って言います
Well, Mitsuki, she's really clinging on to hope
思
now.
って血だらけじゃん。
Yep,
つだよ。
I imagine.
私たち気がついたらここにいて。
Spit it out, Mitsuki!
逃げるのよ。逃げろ。逃げて、見つけ。
She's too scared. She can't run.
助けて。
Ba-boom! We're gonna run. Why would we wait here?
絶対やばい。
Fukuro, you're gone. Your head's twisted. You're dead. Aye.
何なんだろうここ。昔の防空
What? Did we just see him and run away?
女の子。こんなとこに。私たちみたいに。
Maybe
ホテルに
Sayaka?
閉じ込められたのかな。そこの子。ここは危ないから。
Little girl. No, little girl. It's not Sayaka. Oh, no!
お姉ちゃん。お姉ちゃん誰？
Uh,
あの人殺しのおじさんの仲間？
Sachiko, you are a character. You are funny.
あ、違うよ。怖がらないで。私もね、逃げてきたんだ。あなた、この血どうしたの？人殺しのおじさんって。
わからないの。大きいおじさんに友達が3人殺され。
You know that's a lie. You know that you did it. You did it.
そう。ひどい目にあったんだね。お姉ちゃん、お友達を探してる途中なんだけど。
Oh my god, what, that would be crazy if we joined with a party with Sachiko, even though, you know, she's totally evil.
ぶっちゃけ、私も一人じゃ怖いし。ね。
Huh.
うん、ありがとう。
Oh god. Are we really joined up with Sachiko right now? Oh my god, I totally missed that.
お姉ちゃん。
Oh, well, damn it. My button, I accidentally hit the button. I'm so sorry. This way, lady.
ち、
This way. Where are you leading me?
ここ。
私に詳しいんだね。
She's leading me to the special room.
慣れてるから。
そういえば、あなたのお名前まだ。
My name is Sachiko. And you guys did the Sachiko Ever After charm. You're fucked!
篠崎幸子。
Uh-huh.
さあ、何をしようか。
Wow, that's an evil face. I think that's the first time we've seen her face like that. Evil grin.
何なの？
Sachiko wants to get her hands dirty now. She's like, I can't let Yoshikazu have all the fun. I couldn't decide if it looked more like a pre-war medical facility or a meat processing plant. The stench was overpowering. Not only was the smell of rotting flesh everywhere, but the air was stale and thick. The room seemed to have no ventilation to speak of whatsoever. My eye was first drawn to the blood-splattered table, then to the many other instruments, all stained with dried blood and sprinkling liberally with viscera. We've heard that before. And then I saw it in the back of the room. Well, if there's blood and guts everywhere, there's probably dead bodies. There's definitely more meat processing than medicine going on in here. What I saw was literally a pile of human remains, every one of them flayed open or torn apart. It was almost like a stack of discarded butcher scraps.
いや、何よこれ。いや、
そこに知り合いでもいた？どれ？返してあげる。
Sachiko, you're funny.
全部吐いて楽になっちゃうといいよ。
Mitsuki, has it not clicked yet that you did the Sachiko Ever After charm and this little child in front of you is called Sachiko? Has it not clicked yet?
落ち着いた？じゃあ、始めようか。
Oh, you're cute. Oh, hi, Yoshikazu!
何する気なの？やめてよ。
Oh, what a dream team that is.
やめるわけないのにね。おい、薄のろ。そいつを捕まえて。
I guess I should have stayed there and not run away.
つるせ。
The large man seemed intent on obeying Sachiko's every command. He drew near me slowly and robotically. There was no emotion, no sense of urgency, just a man walking across the room to do his job, like it or not. I have to run. If he catches me, I'll be...
鬼ごっこ出口はこっちだよ
Can I make it? Really? The man's movements remained slow and evenly paced, but there were only so many places to flee in a room this small. If I got tired before he did, I'd be finished. My only hope was to get out into the hall before that happened. The two of us glared at one another for a few moments from across the dissection table, and then as soon as he made his move, I leaped on top of it. I'd underestimated just how slippery the table might be. With its thick layer of blood and fat, I quickly spilled off the other side onto the floor. My legs and hindquarters were soaked through with the blood of an untold number of people, but I didn't have time to think about that. Adrenaline gave me the strength to stick my landing, and I managed to keep running without skipping a beat. But we're not gonna make it. I was in the home stretch. For a couple more steps anyway. A sharp pain suddenly shot through my leg as it touched the ground. I immediately fell into a heap. What happened? My right leg was now firmly impaled with a thick, sharp metal spikes. I'd been caught in an old-fashioned bear trap. The kind that's got 2 rows of metal shark teeth lined up on either side. That sucks. Instantaneously slapping shut as soon as any weight is applied in the middle. The thing was designed to catch bears and tigers, so what hope did a human have of escaping it? That sounds like it hurts. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to imagine it, but I can't really imagine it. I'm sorry I did this to you, Mitsuki. I'm really sorry. Baka. You dumb bitch. She just said baka, which means like stupid. You dumb bitch. They just kind of exaggerated a little bit in the English version. I swallowed my pain and started grabbing whatever I could get my hands on, dirt, bones, anything, and chucking it at the encroaching giant. It was the only thing left for me to do. I was out of options. Of course it wasn't going to work. It's futile. The man's foot came down hard on my left leg. It immediately contorted unnaturally and went limp, and I could see a pointed shard of bone jutting out from a bloody hole in my sock. Next, the man wrapped both my arms in chains. As he pulled on the chains, my leg muscles also tightened around sharper metal spikes and a compound fracture. The pain was literally unbearable. In my half-unconscious, agony-addled state, I was just barely aware of being raised into the air by my arms on some sort of pulley system. I'm sure they've heard that one before, too. What? Why not some person I've never met from a foreign country? What? Oh, what a horrible way of thinking. You'd rather have someone else die than I. Just stop it, Mitsuki.
お姉ちゃん、肌きれいね。決めた。あなたはカワハギの毛。顔の皮を全部剥いたら、体も隅々まできれいに剥いてあげる。
That sounds like a wonderful idea, Sachiko. Let's have some fun. I want to see it. Sachiko began approaching me with a broken off shard of an earthenware pot in her hands. No, God, no, 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 no. Ah! I can hear it. Ah, you should put it on you, Sachiko. I want to see. I want to wear it too. An intense pain shot through my entire face. An undulated primal scream escaped my mouth unwittingly as if I were throwing up blood. But not a living soul was around to hear it. There was absolutely no way for me to resist anymore. All I could do was lie limply strung up along the wall and feel my skin getting peeled away. Sometime amongst the throbbing, shooting, burning electric agony coursing through every nerve ending. Overseen by the girl's sneer, I lost consciousness. The very last thing I saw before lapsing into eternal slumber was a familiar strip of skin being flapped about merrily in Sachiko's hands. It was my own face, perfectly flayed from my head, staring back at me with blank eyes and flanked by Sachiko's overly delighted grin. Oh, that's creepy. It's locked from the inside. There's a tiny hole in the door. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this! Of course we gotta take a peek. We gotta take a peek, come on, what could go wrong? It's the only thing I can think of. I put my eye up to the hole and saw the telltale glint of another eye staring back at me from within. Oh god. That's genuinely creepy. This game doesn't really creep me out anymore. It's more of like a shock factor that this game gets me on, like, oh my god, how could that happen? That's so crazy, and the characters that I like. But that was actually, this chapter is creepier than the others. It's good. So far, it's really good. There's something about the second wing of the school that creeps me out a lot more than the first wing. The first wing makes me feel comfortable, because that's where we started. But this wing makes me feel really uncomfortable. Fukudoi ducked down and peeked in through the hole exactly as I had. Oh god. Fukudoi fell into his side, and as soon as I could see his face, I noticed that his right glasses lens was cracked and that his right eye was bloody. On closer inspection, I noticed a round hole in the lens as if a small stick or a fat needle had been instantaneously driven through it deep into his eye. There was no hint of a response. He just kept subtly convulsing as if he'd been electrocuted. How had this happened? What was going on? Oh, you're such a bitch! Oh no. The stall door opened, revealing a little girl with an eerie blue glow about her. She looked to be around grade school age, a 5th or 6th grader maybe. One of her eyes had been completely pulverized, but her face showed no indication of pain. Rather, it had a certain stoic quality to it. It was unreadable. Most disturbing of all, however, was the object she held in her right hand. It was an awl or an ice pick or some such thing with a bloody, dripping blade. I didn't, I swear. Before I even had a chance to answer, the girl leaped from the stall with blinding speed. Oops! Reacting as quickly as I could, I threw my arm in front of my face and almost immediately felt the ice pick blade pierce right into it. Not just once, but twice, 3 times. It dug deep into my arm, my palm, my shoulder. I had to run, but she wasn't about to let me. She just quietly kept hacking away, working her way up and down the entire length of my arm. Bit by bit, my skin and flesh was chipped away until finally the ice pick completely penetrated my palm and began boring into my cheek. Eventually, my ear was hacked apart, and then I was scalped so thoroughly that I could hear the sound of my skin peeling away with my remaining ear. There was nothing in the world but pain at this point. I couldn't focus on anything else if I'd wanted to. My vision was blank. And honestly, I couldn't tell if it's because I had my eyes closed or if I simply didn't have eyes anymore. I only knew for sure that I was still being hacked apart because I could hear it. The pain gave no indication, as it was already omnipresent. I begged for mercy several times in vain before I finally just started praying that this agony would come to an end. God, please. I'll endure whatever trials lie ahead with open arms if you'll just save me now. I beg of you, please make it stop. Okay, so to get this ending, we're at the hole right by the entranceway. We just try fishing out this mysterious object that's down here, which is Mayu's ID. And blah blah blah, skip that, we've seen it in the main story. But instead of trying to fish it out again, we're just gonna go into the hole because that's the smartest idea we've ever had. Why not just jump right in? Yeah, so just jump in, Morishige. Morishige usually has a head on his shoulders, but this decision could be the dumbest decision he's ever made, which is why it leads to a wrong ending.
簡単なことだ。
Couldn't be simpler. As long as I proceeded slowly and cautiously, I thought I'd be fine. First things first, I needed to figure out how deep this gap went.
深さは糸のここまでだから、4メートル強ってところか。
A little over 4 meters. In chapter 2, they say it's like 10 meters. My height is 178 centimeters, so with arms outstretched, I'd be about 2 meters or so, which meant if I grabbed onto the ledge with my hands and lowered myself down, I'd only have another 2 meters to fall. And that seemed entirely reasonable. It was notably less of a drop than one would face when jumping from a second-story veranda, for example.
問題は登るときだが、その辺の教室から机や椅子をいくつか運んできて、先に穴に落としておこう。
Oh, but then again, this is a different dimension, this is a different hole, because the other hole was on the other side of the entranceway, so it could very well only be 4 meters. A little stacking could easily give me 1.5 meters of extra height, I thought. And that should get me plenty close to the edge of the hole. I'd probably be able to reach it and grab on with just a single jump.
最悪の場合、1時間後にはすぐそこの玄関に田口さんが戻ってくるから、大声で呼べば助けてくれるだろう。
Really? You're gonna rely on Taguchi, who's probably running around with his head cut off going crazy somewhere right now?
これでよし。行くか。
Yeah, let's do it! I wanna see what happens! That's not a good sign.
足がくじいたかもしれない。地面が床みたいに平らじゃないことくらい予想できたろうに。
What, is it full of corpses? Well, at least I could finally find out what the item was that I'd seen from above. It was a small notebook. No, I recognized it. This was a student ID? It's Mayu's ID. In fact, it seemed to be a Kisaragi Academy student ID.
これは眉の学生証。なんでこんなところに。
Don't worry, she just dropped
上
it.
からここに落ちて。
Don't think the worst right away.
眉いるのか眉。
There were a considerable number of dead bodies down here with me. Most of them were full-on skeletons who seemed like they'd been here for ages, but a handful of them looked like they may have just died a few hours ago.
こんなに人が。それもほとんど俺と同世代の。一体何が行われているんだこの学校では。
Don't lie, Morishige, this is like your heaven. So many bodies. I briefly scanned the bodies of the departed in the dim, unnatural light that filtered in from above and found one that was wearing very familiar clothes. This was definitely the uniform of Kisaragi Academy High School. I was horrified. Mayu, please tell me it's not you.
院長。おい、篠崎。
Uh-oh. Ayumi. Both of Ayumi Shinosaki's eyes were wide open, but she wasn't looking at anything in particular. Those eyes weren't seeing anything at all anymore. Wow, we came across Ayumi's corpse. That's crazy.
篠崎。
Is this gonna drive him crazy?
なんで誰がこんな。
Oh, that's cool. Wow, he actually has, like, some humanity to... Well, I mean, he does have humanity to him normally, but usually we see him as a big creep.
落ち着け。冷静になるんだ。篠崎は死んでいる。これは死体だ。そこら中にある死体の一つだ。
Yeah, exactly. You should be taking a picture and getting a boner right about now, Morishige.
そう。篠崎の形をした肉の塊だ。ものなんだ。
That's a really creepy way of looking at it, but whatever.
くそ。篠崎には騎士沼がついていると思ったのに、あの単細胞は何をやってるんだ。
Well, he's probably busy being dead too.
あいつがどこかで油を売ってるから、篠崎がこんなことに。こんな。
Don't lie, Morishige. Come on, you and Kishinuma, Yoshiki. You have a little bit of a bromance going on, whether you like it or not.
遺族のために何か持って行った方がいいよな。
Okay, here we go. Now his creepy side's gonna come out. He's gonna touch her and be like, this is a nice corpse.
こんなに血で汚れた制服はダメだな。
Her underwear. Why would you even think that?
下着なんて論外だ。 髪留めのゴム紐は
Just to come. Oh, okay, Morishi is being creepy now. Imagine bringing her underwear to her parents, and be like, "Hey, your daughter's dead, but I got her panties." They'd be like, "What did you do to her? Did you kill her?" Oh my god.
もう少し篠崎の個性が伝わるような委員長のろうそくは
If she had her,
ここにはないか
she had her student ID.
髪の毛とかいいはずならいいだろうハサミがないからそうだな仕方ない歯で噛み切るか
This just doesn't even compute in my head. What the fuck is going on? He's gonna like, he could take anything from her. He's gonna take her hair and he's gonna like bite it. She's dead. She's a corpse and you're gonna bite the corpse's hair with your teeth. What? Yeah, that's hard to...
人の髪の毛ってのは意外と丈夫なもんだな
Yeah, that would be hard to rip like a tuft of hair off someone with your
綺
teeth.
麗に切れない
That's really hard to do.
別の部分ならどうだ例えば爪とか待てよいや舌がいいな
Okay, I was waiting for a bunch of creepy shit to come out. Here's the creepy shit.
いい
Thank
よ
you.
な篠崎遺族のためだ口を開けてくれ
Oh,
舌が
he's so angry.
舌がないじゃないか
I'm not laughing at you, Morishige. I'm laughing with you, okay?
畜生誰がふざけるなこれじゃ俺が仕方ない歯で妥協するかくそ
Wow. How are they even gonna know it's her tooth? I mean, do her parents look at her teeth all the time?
抜けない指で引っ張ったくらいじゃあれ目の前が真っ黒
Oh, you're darkening, that's why. This drove him to darken. This drove him to craziness.
黒
I guess seeing Ayumi's corpse, like, snapped something in his mind and, like, the darkness just flooded into him and now he's all crazy.
前どこだお前も俺が
Okay, I am giving his struggle for life a 10 out of 10. That was pretty epic. That was pretty good. 10 out of 10 for you, Morishige. It's the first 10 out of 10 I think I'm given today. Maybe I've given another one, I forget. Anyways, this ending was really creepy. It was really good. I like this wrong ending a lot. Really good. I heard there's a bad ending we can get if we 100% darken, so I just want to see it. Okay, here we go. 100% darkened, here we go, I want to see it.
行かないと眉探しに
Yeah, let's look for Mayu. You're darkened, he can't go on, he's going nuts. What's gonna happen?
で起きて
眉
お兄ちゃん起きて
I know who that is.
ここ
You're
お
darkened.
はようお兄ちゃんここはね
The young girl thrust her face so close to mine that our noses practically touched. She was smiling from ear to ear. Yeah, she has an epic smile. She looked to be in about first or second grade with long black hair and a clean, cute, almost dainty countenance. After my brief impression, however, I quickly turned my head away. She was uncomfortably close, literally breathing down my neck, and her breath. It smelled of blood, of death and decay, and fatty oils and smoke. It smelled of chemicals and antiseptic. It was a very, very unpleasant potpourri. Really? Do you gotta put it like that?
嬉しくなっちゃう。なんだこれはって聞かないんだね。ここに来た人はみんなまず驚いて。
That's right, we're Morishige. We're creepier than you are. We can be. We have the ability. The little girl began backing away from her shoulders still shaking in a soundless chuckle. I knew exactly what she meant. It would be entirely reasonable to ask what's going on here. Even at a glance, I could tell this room was not good. The floors and walls were caked in blood as thick as mud. Buckets of body parts were strewn all about and eviscerated corpses were stacked everywhere. We're in the basement. And that was just what I could see at a glance. As for me, I was bound to a chair against one of the walls, not with ropes, but with chains. Whips and chains excite me. I forget how the song goes.
俺をどうするつもりだ。殺すのか。
Well, Shig, what do you think?
どうしよっかな。これから考える。先に
You've
こ
got
れ
something
で
else to
遊ぶ
play
から。
with. Who are you gonna play with in front of us? Just as she said the word else, she brought her hand down onto the nearby table in a slapping motion, and it made contact with someone. It was a girl bound by her hands and feet, and Sachiko's slap was aimed squarely at her thigh. Her uniform suggested that she was in high school, and she was wearing glasses, giving her a rather stern, serious appearance. I could hear the sound of chattering teeth and see her chest rising and falling rapidly and erratically, suggesting she was paralyzed with
名前は
fear.
ね、浦部恵美さん。
At the sound of her own name being read aloud from her student ID name tag, the girl let out a single whimper. I wish we didn't see a black screen. I'd really like to see what's going on with these
ダ
endings.
メ。お姉ちゃんは今からとびきり痛いことをされます。
For like a full game, that sounds a little bit cheap, you know. This was like a full PSP release.
惨めったらしい顔や命乞いをして見せてくださいね。やだ。冗談だよね。
I'm sorry for your loss, Emmy. Because, you know, like, I've realized this with a lot of anime games lately. Like, I played this one game called Tears to TR2. It's a strategy RPG. It's really good. It's an awesome story. I always find with these anime games, the voice acting is superb. It is amazing. And then, like, the visuals is they cop out a lot of the times with the visuals, like reusing the same CG images and sometimes not even putting them in, like, here, black screen. Like, come on, guys. Reusing the same, like, avatars and stuff. Sachiko swung her hand downward into Emi's face. I realized only after impact that there was a scalpel in it. A sloppy, uncontrolled incision was made from the corner of her mouth all the way to her ear. I'm gonna put a smile on that face.
まだあまり痛がらないで。これからもっと痛くなるのよ。
Ew. Sachiko produced a pair of durable sewing scissors from a rollaway shelf nearby and began expertly cutting all the way up Emi's school uniform. Then she set down the scissors and produced a full-sized farming sickle in their place. It looked well worn with soil and rust sticking liberally to the blade. After brandishing it for a moment, Sachiko positioned it over Emi's abdomen. It's just a dream, but I wouldn't really call it a dream. Probably called a nightmare to be a little bit more exact. All right, Emmy.
目が覚めるかどうか。自分で確かめろ。
Sachiko slowly shifted her focus from Emi's abdomen to the area just below her rib cage. Emi's body began spasming, her spinal muscles contracting in a decidedly unnatural manner. Gasps and screams mixed with sounds of vomit and
いい
incontinence.
顔になってきたね。できるじゃないか。
That's good, Sachiko. You're cheering them on. That's fantastic. I agree with you. We should cheer them on. Yeah, you can do it. Squirm more. Oh, that's great. Without even wiping the drool from her mouth, Sachiko tossed the sickle aside and simply began digging into Emi's wounds with her bare hands. The sound of tiny hands manipulating internal organs was disgustingly similar to that of a sopping wet rag squelching spilled oatmeal off a hardwood floor. How could you even think that? Ew, those sounds make me want to take a poo, because my stomach has been upset all this week. It still is upset. I had a big dinner with people at my school today, and I seriously wanted to shit so bad during it. The noises escaping Emi's mouth didn't even sound like they were coming from a human being anymore. I could see her face in a profile now, and despite the gastric juices, vomit and blood, and contortions of unbearable agony, it wasn't a disagreeable sight. This was a girl not far from death. She was trying her hardest to fight it, but the facts were the facts. She was going to die, and she knew it. So Sheik is darkening, so he's, like, taking interest in it. Against this fate, she was completely and utterly helpless. She was doomed already in both body and soul. This hapless struggle had a certain sensual quality to it. No, it was even purer than that. This was a truly beautiful sight. Yep, you're darkened, alright. Her mouth is probably... Sachiko, who at this point buried her head in Emi's exposed organs, withdrew it and directed this question at me, her mouth still full of flesh. Everything from her nose down was dried red and dripping with blood. So, even though she's a ghost, she's corporeal. Guess a ghost gotta eat. Okay? She swallowed whatever she'd bitten out of Emi's insides, then turned to face me. Not just face me, actually, but stare at me. Stare into me with unwavering, unblinking eyes. I wonder if they're gonna become a team. She's like, this is awesome. Can I join you? I suddenly became aware of my own erratic breathing. It wasn't fear, though, but an almost animalistic reaction. It was coarse and primal, and I had unconsciously thrust my chest forward toward Emi. I think I may have been smiling. They're gonna play with her together! Don't be ridiculous. It's like she's making fun of me. She shouldn't even have to ask. Wrong end! Perfect timing. Okay, so for wrong ending 6 and 7, there's a bunch of extra scenes, and you have to get the true end before you can even get these. So what we do is we examine Taguchi's corpse here, and there's going to be an earthquake, and now we get some extra scenes, which I haven't shown in my Let's Play, so I'm just going to show it here. Ba-boom. Oh, so this is what happens to Fukuroi. Finally, I wanted to know what happened to him. Obviously, he gets beaten and killed by Yoshikazu somehow. Something hit me hard right in the back of the head. I began descending face first toward the ground. It felt like I was falling in slow motion, though. The ground just kept coming, yet for some reason I couldn't even put my hands out to break the fall. It was like I was being slowly swept toward a wall by some giant wave. My glasses fell from my face, and I distinctly remember watching them roll around. So this is why Mitsuki's freaking out later. Mitsuki's panic screams brought me back to reality. Suddenly I remembered what was happening. She and I had pursued Emi Urabe from the pool back into the school building and found her quickly enough. Unfortunately, she was already dead. Her head had been smashed open on the ground like a roasted chestnut. Who could have done such a thing, we thought. And like it or not, it seemed I'd now learned the answer. Mitsuki was inconsolable, understandably, but after some doing, I'd finally managed to drag her away from Urabe's remains. We just began walking back toward the school entranceway when I got struck from behind and found myself careening toward the floor. Oh, Fukuroi and Mitsuki are like just good people. They don't deserve to die. No one deserves to die, but they're just like great people. I was losing focus but could still make out the pool of blood spilling from my head, accompanied by a sound reminiscent of a leaky faucet. And unfortunately, I could also make out the vague form of a man standing over me, raising whatever he'd hit me with into the air for another strike. I instinctively shielded my head with my right arm and felt every nerve ending and every muscle in it twist unnaturally as the blunt object came down. You're not gonna stop Yoshikazu's hammer like that. Aw, Mitsuki's so awesome. She's one of my favorite characters. Mitsuki's tomboyish face looked uncharacteristically wrinkled and puffy. She doesn't look tomboyish, with tears streaming down both her cheeks. Or maybe it was just my blurry vision. Mitsuki! I give Fukuroi's struggle for life a 9 out of 10. He could have tried a little bit harder. Mitsuki, your scream was okay, but not good enough. 7 out of 10. Mitsuki's sobbing screams and frantic footsteps began receding into the distance. This made me feel a little better. At least she'd be safe, I thought. It took only moments for my vision to go completely dark, but then I had taken a hammer to the head. Still, considering what I'd just been through, I'd expected to be unconscious by now, but I wasn't. I could feel every part of my body clearly. I kind of wished I couldn't, considering, but I was pretty sure I could still move, at least for the moment, so I decided to do my part. With my uncrushed left arm, I reached out blindly, felt my attacker's leg as he began turning to pursue Mitsuki, and grabbed on tight. That's gonna help. Mitsuki was important to me. Oh, there you go. Now that's the finishing blow. Goodbye, Fukuroi. Was I still alive? I couldn't even count the number of broken bones I'd suffered, and I could still feel every one of them just... You're really clinging on to life. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, wow, you're gonna die anyways. You may as well just pass away. My head, my arms, my ribs, every part of me was throbbing with agony. No one part of my body hurt more than another. Every injury was unbearable. Kizami. Someone was next to me, down on one knee, head right at my ear from the sound of it. A young man probably around my age. Kizami. Oh, come on, a young man. He sounds like he's older than he is. Kizami has like a really deep voice. I couldn't see a thing at this point, not even vague shapes, but the voice addressing me sounded somehow familiar. I felt this was someone I could trust. Yeah, and Kizami's next question is, where are they? Fukuro, you just told Kizami that Mitsuki's alive and just ready for the killing.
Yamamoto.
Oh, don't tell me Fukuro's gonna die and the last thing he's gonna hear is Kizami's gonna be like, I'll kill her.
Ah, tanomareta. Chanto mendou mite yaru yo.
And he puts him out of his misery. Even without seeing his face, I could tell he was sneering when he said this. Then, in the next instant, I felt something hot bore into my abdomen. Kizami.
Omae wa mou raku ni naru. Mottomo. Koko ja shindemo itami wa kienai rashii kedo na.
That is what they say. Well, the odds of Mitsuki surviving are pretty low, because there's Yoshikazu and Kizami. Oh my god. Mitsuki, run! Okay, and now we go back to Morishige, and this is where it branches off into wrong endings 6 and 7. Which way? So, we don't want to go to the covered walkway, because that's the way to the original true ending. We go to the second floor. Because, yeah, we have to get the true ending to get these options. Whoa! Oh, we run into Mitsuki! As she's panicking, obviously. Oh, what is this? Is Morishige here too? His expression never once changed. He was like some kind of twisted life-size doll with one face. No doubt the face he'd be wearing when he killed me. The last face. Oh, we are playing as Mitsuki. Wow, we're playing as Mitsuki. I should have paid attention to the map. It probably showed Mitsuki's sprite here. What could I do? What options did I have? Okay, so this is where it branches off to wrong ending 6 and 7. So to get wrong ending 6, we're gonna light the lamp. That's what's gonna work, totally. Because he's right there. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. And we're like, we're gonna light the lamp. Poof. It's gonna work. Let's try it. Oh. Some intense music. I have a good feeling. With adrenaline's help, I managed to get the matchbox out of my bag, withdraw a match, and even unsuccessfully strike it a few times. All in an instant. Finally, I got a flame, but it wasn't fast enough. The expressionless giant's hammer struck me full force right in my knee. Well, that's what you get for trying to light a lamp right in front of Yoshikazu. And your scream wasn't loud enough. I had nothing left to lose at this point, so I just threw the alcohol lamp haphazardly. It struck the expressionless man's raised hammer and shattered. A sizable amount of methanol spilled from the shards all over his face and chest, and there, thankfully, it burst right into flames. The man's entire torso was immediately engulfed. Wow, that's pretty badass, Mitsuki! Is it gonna do anything, though? He doesn't seem too phased. He's just like, The hammer fell from his... Wow, okay, never mind. He dropped the hammer. I did it! Burn slowly, you bastard! Wow, are you actually gonna do some damage to him? Yeah, right. His flaming hand grabbed my wrist. I could feel my skin instantly blistering, and then mere moments later my whole uniform went up. Well, you just made your death a lot more terrible. That was a pretty good scream. 9 out of 10. That really sucks. Her arm's breaking and she's blistering and burning. That really sucks. That's some special oil in that lamp. Well, hey, this is the first time someone's done real damage to him, so that's pretty good. Well, Mitsuki and Fukuro, they have really strong personalities, and so they don't lose consciousness easily. They cling on to life. Oh god, this thing's like sizzling hot now. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, that's like red hot steel right on you, sounding like an egg in a fry pan. This is a good freak out. This is definitely 10 out of 10 freak out material. Oh, right on her face. Oh, oh my god, this is horrible. What? It smelled good? Your burning skin? His burning skin. Oops. This is one of the most gruesome deaths. This is so crazy. Yeah, he just wants to kill you now because you've done damage to him. Wow, that was a really gruesome death. Oh my god, it's like my skin's bubbling and red hot searing and ew, my god. My god. Okay, so following along where wrong ending 6 was, to get wrong ending 7, we're just gonna try something else. By screaming at him. So you just screamed at him? Instead of trying the oil lamp, you just yelled really loud? It was the same sort of smell one might catch while walking past a ramen stand. What is happening? Okay, so they're here. Okay, so Nadi is wandering through here.
ないからさ。
Why? Did you guys split up?
頑張るんだよ。千早。
What? Did you just leave her? Oh, yeah, because she was tied to the chair that we saw in one of the wrong endings in Chapter 2. It's cool how all of this comes full circle. Like, in the wrong endings are, like, connected to each other. Yeah, she got black oil poured all over her. Which I'm sure Sachiko is doing right now. What was happening to her? My mind had been in a rather hazy state, but this poor girl's terrified screams, as if someone were tearing her heart out, brought me back to reality. I realized that my hands and feet were bound to a chair, and I was facing another young girl who was similarly bound and writhing in pain. Okay, so Yoshikazu took us to the lab where we are right now, and we're bound in a chair. She was wearing a school uniform I didn't recognize, so she must have been brought here from some other junior or senior high school. Were it not for the uniform and the voice, I might have had a tough time determining gender, as her face looked neither male or female, young nor old. It was simply too burned to discern anything at all. From the top of her head down to her neck, and even halfway down her torso, she was thoroughly charred. She'd essentially been browned, and virtually all her hair was singed off, not unlike a Peking duck hanged outside a Chinese restaurant. You're really good with metaphors. Her skin was thoroughly cracked, with bits of pink flesh oozing through here and there. And her eyes looked blank, cloudy, and watery like the bottom of an order of sunny-side-up eggs, only her teeth remained relatively intact. Well, her upper body is, like, completely charred black, so that's why she can't talk very much. I was about to give her struggle for life a 1 out of 10, but then I realized with a charred upper body that'd be a little bit hard. I'm gonna give you a 6 out of 10. Nadi. I have no idea how much time passed after that. For a while, the only real sounds were her chair rattling as she shook and her murmurs of agony. Then all that stopped and the girl fell silent. Considering where she'd been burned, I suspected her lungs must have given out in the end, though really it could have been any of a number of things. My mind was a blank slate. I was beginning to lose my grip on reality and may have even laughed a little. I was in a home ec classroom maybe, a science lab, and all around me, definitely science lab, and all around me were arms, legs, heads, and other body parts all simmering in pots and pans. They should have like a cooking show with Sachiko and Yoshikazu. That'd be brilliant. None of it seemed real. It was like I was watching some bad horror movie on TV, except there was odor and heat, and both really getting to me. I was getting nauseous, but nauseous. I was getting nauseous, but not from the smell. It was instead from the thought that this aroma of human flesh boiling and frying was making me hungry. That's, yeah. That would be something I'd be disappointed in myself for, too. As I fought back to hold my fear and hunger-induced vomit, I suddenly sensed a pair of eyes coldly staring at me. I looked in the direction from which I'd felt the sensation and saw before me a little girl in a red dress just standing and watching. Hello, Pikachu Sachiko.
いい時に目が覚めたのね。ちょうどあなたの番が回ってきたところよ。
Yay!
やだやだまさか冗談
Just let it happen. The little girl lifted a frying pan from a nearby gas burner and brandished it in her right hand. Steam rose from the hot pan, and I could see bubbling oil splattering all along its surface.
あなたはどんな歌を聴かせてくれるのかしら。
I could see the expression on her face clearly now, mischievous, hungry, and positively jubilant, without even a trace of sympathy or remorse. Ew, Mitsuki dies in such gruesome ways. Oh my god, I wanted to hear you scream. No, there's no scream! No way! Well, then again, Mitsuki wouldn't give them the satisfaction. Then again, in the last wrong ending, she did scream a lot. She is tough, though. There's a candle shimmering here along with a note. Whatever you do, don't look behind you.
振り返ったらどうなるって言うんだ。
What happens if... I'm totally gonna look back. How could I refuse that? Come on. I probably shouldn't look back, but I wonder what happens if I do. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, it's Mitsuki! I'm glad I looked back.
山本さん、袋井くんは
わからない。さっきまで一緒にいたけど、なんか斧持ってるやつに追いかけられて逃げてる。
I thought he had a hammer! An axe, Yoshikazu?
そうか。心配だな。無事だといい。
But he has a lot of tools. He probably has an axe too.
私は平気。この血は私のじゃないから。それよりやっぱりやばいよこの学校。さっきのやつがきっとここに迷い込んだ人たちを殺してるんだ。
It's probably not really Mitsuki. If it's something said don't look back, it's like some
僕
weird
はそいつを
apparition.
見てないから何とも言えないな。
私怖いよ。
よかったら一緒。
いいの？
まあ構わないよ。
Yamamoto, overcome with relief, suddenly grabbed hold of me.
ちょっと
Mayu's the only girl for Shig.
ごめんね。森重君。
そういうんじゃない。なんていうか妹みたいなものだよ。
Yeah,
み
Shig.
たいなお兄さんがいたら退屈しないだろうね。
Oh, see, Mitsuki, like, uses people. She, like, latches onto people, like, ah, and she acts like, you know, like they're, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, and uses her charm to get what she wants. That's really terrible.
そうかな。どっちかっていうと退屈な人間だと思われることが多いんだけどな。暗いな。山本さん。
ちょっと待って。明かりつけるから。
なんだこの廊下。やけに。そうだ。本館でもこんな場所が。
Okay, so I thought we were gonna get a band ending, but so far it doesn't seem like it's really, like, wrong ending-ish.
なあ、引き返そう。これ以上は危険だと思う。
でももう来た道がない。
What?
あ、しまった。そうだ、山本さん。
I hope she does.
あれはなくしちゃった。でもろうそくならあるから。
But the candles suck compared to that oil lamp.
そんなものじゃ。
Yep.
あそこに部屋が見えるよ。
That's gonna be the last room we ever go into for the rest of our lives, isn't it?
待て、危険かもしれないだろう。様子を。
With the utmost care. What? What? Oh. Oh, sexy
平気
action.
だよ。
Oh my god, that's not Mitsuki. It's gonna be like Sachiko or something, and she's trying to tempt Morishige.
誤解しないでくれよ。俺は、いや、
それより少しお話ししない？
何を言って。
私のことは嫌い？
Oh my god. Whoa! She's someone who is bleeding from the eyes. That's who.
誰だと思う？
Sachiko! See, Sachiko loves Shig, so she's trying to tempt Shig. Like, come on, do me, do me, do me. I want to be done by Shig because Shig's crazier and more perverted than I am.
やめろ。
Don't call me that. I tried to pick myself up off the floor, but she grabbed me tightly by the wrists.
離せ。なんで俺のことを、眉のことを知ってるんだ。
I struggled with all my might, and in the process I inadvertently slapped Yamamoto, or whoever this was, square in the face. You shouldn't have slapped Sachiko like that. Oh god.
乱暴するの？
Huh.
茂み。
Tee. Oh god. Sachiko, she wants to do Shig, but that's really gross because Sachiko's like, her physical body is like super young. The skin from Yamamoto's face began peeling back and a little girl's face burst out from within, covered in blood and muscle tissue. I don't even know how it's possible, but black hair has burst out from the Yamamoto suit, next spreading across the ground like a black wing unfurling. Immediately, a musty smell began permeating the air, and I became aware of all the body parts surrounding me. Hands, feet, entrails, and a veritable lake of blood.
お前はいつからマユはどうした？
どうしたんだろうね。しげによく泣くスズメだったよ。
Ooh, she just admitted she killed Mayu. Holy shit, she's gonna lose his shit.
今は物静かな。
Oh, she's gonna say, look in your phone, that's her. Oh, this is good. This is fantastic.
まさかそんなバカな。
私はお前を見ていたよ。面白い。
Oh, she loves him. She loves Morishige. That's crazy. Sachiko X Morishige. I ship it. That's the new one. I thought it'd be Morishige X Kizami, but no. It's X Sachiko.
たまにお前みたいなのがいる。この学校。
何なんだ。一体。俺を
Don't act innocent,
どうす
Morishige.
るつもりなんだ。
You were saying how you wanted a collection of corpses, okay?
怯えているのかい？
Scared? Nope, he's not scared.
無理もない。だけど分かってるよ。お前の恐れの対象は生きた死ではない。
話せ。俺は
Well, Shig, you're the one on top of her.
話してやろうとも。歩いていけ。あの扉へ。お前が探しているあの子の。
Ooh.
今の私は
But you already have.
マユ。
楽しみだね。お前の反応が。
Oh, he's gonna freak out and he's gonna die somehow. True to her word, the girl let go of my wrists. Oh, I see. I didn't even see that. It looked like her hand was on the ground, but she actually had a firm grip on his wrist. Alright. Her body then began sinking into the floor little by little until there was nothing left of it. It was as if she were lying along the shore as the tide came in and slowly rose above her body. Or maybe the school just swallowed her up? The only things that remained of her were Yamamoto's school uniform and that face mask made from her
こ
skin.
れは夢か。それとも。
Ew, that's gross. So Sachiko must have killed her in the meantime and, like, taken her, like, face. Peeled it off.
俺はマユに会わなくてはならない。
Because that's what Sachiko did in one of the wrong endings of the game when we were playing as Mitsuki. She did peel off her face.
あいつは生きている。
Okay, let's go. Let's go find her. Let's go into that room that Sachiko's told us to. Oh, what? Okay, so that's the end of the... What? I thought we were gonna go in and, like, see Mayu dead, but I'm sure it's just... We assume that's what happened. He goes in and sees her dead, and he's like, ah! And he freaks out. And here I was again. Oh, he's at Mayu's corpse again. I pressed the button on my phone to shut off the second alarm I'd set. If this time display were accurate, then there was no chance of making it home in time to record the show for Mayu.
マユに謝らないとな。
I think finding her is more important than recording the show for her. I slid my finger naturally, almost automatically, from shutting off the alarm to opening my folder of saved photos. There was no sound in the room other than the tone of my button presses, and virtually no light other than that which shone from the LCD screen, or so it seemed anyway. Yet this was my rock. In this place I could truly relax. Here and here alone I felt at peace. The air was filled with the overpowering aroma of blood and entrails. It would be enough to make most people vomit, but for me it was a smell to savor. I'd even describe it as comforting. Perhaps it's because it reminded me that I was in her presence. She who decorated the wall like a flower in full bloom. When I sat across from her, I felt more at ease than I can possibly convey in words. Mayu, that you feel comfortable because it's Mayu. It was as if she'd always been here for me, as if she were waiting for me. And sure enough, whenever I felt weary or needed respite, the door to this infirmary would always open for me, despite its tendency to the contrary. Each time it did, too, I would always be drawn in as if the room were swallowing me up, and my eyes would always happen upon this offering first. See, Sachiko's opening it for you, because, like, normally you can't open it, and then he comes across here, and Sachiko's like, yeah, I'm gonna open it, because it's fucking Mayu. Sachiko, you're a character. This girl upon the wall, slowly dying and slowly rotting, would always be there to greet me, and never once did I tire of the sight.
随分集まったな。
See, look at that. You're talking to her like that, and like Mayu as a ghost can probably hear this and be like, oh, Sheik, oh my god. Oh god. I'd begun talking to myself, or maybe I was talking to her. Within my phone's memory were stored some of man's most sensual, most voluptuous objects, darts, and she was the tip of the brush, the grand prelude. I'd amassed a whole other building's worth of beautiful sculptures to admire now, too. I was thrilled to bursting. Mayu's not gonna like you anymore if you're acting like that, Sheeg. This was the sculpture known as Mitsuki Yamamoto. In life but in death, she was my property, one of many pieces of found art. Those spirited eyes, now dulled and clammy, those lips that spoke such harsh words, now stained with blood, her abdomen shredded, her innards exposed. So alluring, so captivating was she now. Sometimes destroying that which is beautiful only serves to make it more beautiful. And truly, this was the proof.
しかしやっぱり残念
It was a shame that I could only gaze upon these gorgeous works of art within these school grounds. Before returning home with Mayu, I need to erase every one of these photographs from my phone. It seemed like such a waste. The world in which I once dwelled was far too narrow-minded to accept these masterpieces. It was often a hard place to call home. But as long as I had Mayu with me, I could endure. And to that end, this folder was an obstacle, a detriment, a hurdle to be overcome before I could rejoin the world of the living. I needed to delete it to put it all behind me.
でもまあいいか
No, if you delete it, you're gonna go crazy because the stress is gonna get to you. And if you keep it there, you're gonna go crazy. What a dilemma you're in. Oh yeah, main theme. What? No, that's it? Okay, so to get this ending, it's pretty simple. We just choose run for the door instead of consider other options. After brushing the last piece of rope off my body, I leaped to the ground and began searching the room for the best escape route, and you ran right for the door. You were gonna run into someone there. The huge man may have freed me from my ropes, but I was clearly still in danger.
手足がしびれてうまく動かせない
You can do it, Yuka. You can do it. There were still big indented rope burns on my wrists and ankles, limiting my blood circulation. I wouldn't be moving comfortably for a while yet. Oh, I see, yeah, because the blood isn't circulating through her body, her arms and legs are asleep. She can't actually run for the door. The back door of the classroom was wide open. It seemed broken, actually. It looked like the huge man must have busted it in with his hammer when he came attacking. I decided to make a break for it. First, I tried sidestepping past him, doing everything I could to tread lightly and keep my arms outstretched so the blood would flow to them again. But then, fa-bump, I heard the floor creak behind me. Sorry, I just choked on my own spit. I was too late, there was nowhere left to run. The giant hammer struck my right arm, instantly fracturing it severely. The spray of blood from the impact even got in my eyes. That's descriptive. She's like, oh my god, it got my eyes. Sorry, Yuka. I mean, I don't like Yuka. Sometimes she does really dumb stuff, but I hate to see her in pain because she's so young. Well, I'm glad you're happy, Pikachu. The huge man raised his hammer in the air again. He swung with perfect precision and I was down, but he wasn't stopping. Of course. When you do a job, you gotta do it right. Get the job done. Get her done. Both my arms and legs had been completely destroyed. They looked like giant swatted bugs on the desk. Just a mess of bloody chunks. The last swing hit so hard that it broke the whole desk behind me. I found myself rolling painfully onto the ground. When I hit, there was less a thud and more a plop. Bits of my arms and legs went flying everywhere. And then I realized it wasn't just bits. What was left of my extremities was so damaged that it all literally just snapped off my body. No, this had to be a nightmare. It couldn't be real, could it? I really was like a swatted bug. I looked and felt the part completely. What do you know? That is kind of funny, Sachiko. I'm laughing with you too. Nah, I give your struggle for life a 4 out of 10. That wasn't good enough. I didn't want to give up, even though I knew I was doomed. I tried to roll myself toward the door, but that went about as well as you might expect. My head was stuck on something, and waves of pain were shooting through my entire torso. I wasn't going to last much longer. I could see the hammer coming down onto my head, and then for a split second I could see in 2 opposite directions at once as my skull cracked down the middle like a watermelon. Okay, so now what we do is I already hit the option to consider other options, so we consider other options, and now we just keep on inspecting stuff until we darken 100%. So light the Benson burner? No. I don't want to light it. I want to inspect terrible things. Like a faucet. No water. Okay, let's darken some more. Let's inspect it again. Let's inspect it again. And let's inspect it again. Are we 100% yet? Oh, yes, we're darkening. Okay. I couldn't move any part of my body. I'd just fallen completely limp and my vision had gone black. I felt like I was being swallowed up by the darkness and there was nothing I could do to stop it. It was seeping into every part of me. Big brother, help. No, just let the darkness engulf you and then Sachiko can have a little friend. That's so disappointing. That's it? You don't get to see Yuka go crazy? Ah. Sakura. Such a beautiful name. Cherry Blossom. There's a fairly large stone sitting in the heavy wooden table. Take it. Yeah! Let's use that as a doorknob. Oh, Yuka, no way, Yuka, you're so weak. Uh-oh. Maybe I shouldn't have taken that stone. Well, maybe he's gonna come in and open the door for us. Come on, help me! Yoshikazu, help me! I quietly and gently return the stone to its original spot. Well, you're fainting? I know you're really stressed, but don't faint. This would be a bad idea. Fight it, Yuka. What hurts? I couldn't move any part of my body. I'd just fallen completely limp and my vision had gone black. I felt like I was being swallowed up by the darkness and there was nothing I could do to stop it. It was seeping into every part of me. Big brother, help. Oh, did I get darkened? I got darkened! You're my big sister, and I've always wanted to kill a big sister. Sachiko's smile almost seemed to twinkle in the dull light of the corridor. She had the face of an angel, but it was all just a mask. I mustered all the strength I had, trying with whatever life was left in me to denounce her words and resist her pull. There was no hope for me anymore, but I still clung to what I could. If I could just reject her statement and tell her she was wrong. Oh, you shouldn't tell her that. She's gonna want to kill Satoshi too. Well, she probably already does. So, okay. Let's just keep searching. Haha, that's so funny. Searching, but I said searching because it's like split up. And, yeah, okay. Oops. That's a lot of pennies I just got right now. Little sister, why? Oh wow, she's definitely using Jedi mind tricks, like choke yourself. My body shook and spasmed uncontrollably. I was being overtaken by an invisible force. You're darkening, that's what's happening. It was compelling me to speak, to say what would be my very last words on this earth. A suicide note when you get right down to it. So I guess that's why Sachiko pushed her in the pool, is because that, like, probably severely had an effect on her being darkened. Which, the more you're darkened, the more control. Yeah, I got it. It'd be really hard to choke yourself, wouldn't it? Oh, I guess you could do it. Ow, yeah, you could do it. That I almost choked myself there. Don't give your life so easily. You know what? I hope Sachiko gets eternally tormented. You know, I mean, she is kind of being eternally tormented now in the afterlife, but she is eternally tormenting other people. But then again, I guess this isn't the real Sachiko. It's like the dark version of her. But I hope, like, the dark version, light version gets split up from each other, and then the dark version gets tormented forever. Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, shit. It was instantaneous. With one single blow, my skull was cracked wide open and blood splattered far and wide. Considering your skull's splattered, you certainly made a long noise there. I could feel blood trickling out from my nostrils and my right ear. My brain was jutting out from inside my head, fully exposed to the air, but I was still conscious. I could still feel everything. How are you still conscious? I saw a bright flash of light and realized she'd just taken my picture with that instant camera she'd been holding on to. Ah! That is a Kodak moment, guys. That is amazing. It definitely is a pretty picture. Oh, wow. You can see her brain, Yuka's brain trying to work, but failing. Why am I smiling? That's gross. Lowly woman. Why would you... Sachiko, why are you trying to destroy her? I mean, like, Sachiko really basically has been, like, taking Yuka and just destroying everything about her. Like, her personality, her emotions, and now the last thing, her body, and by killing her, right? Sachiko's destroying, like, everything. Sachiko was such a cute little girl before, but now her face was twisted into a hateful, spiteful grimace as she looked down on me in contempt. Oh, she's gonna show that to... Maybe that's how Sachiko is gonna, like, defeat Satoshi. Because Satoshi knows his way around here. He'll be like, hey, here's a picture of Yuka all dead. And then Satoshi's gonna, like, completely darken and just freak out. Oh, she's destroying everything about her. That's, like, the one thing Yuka would not want to give up. Okay, just die, Yuka. You're not gonna survive this. Sachiko began petting my sticky, matted head with her coarse, sticky hands in a mockery of my previous gentleness with her. My scrap of paper from the charm? What? What? She wants to spare her from her fate and she wants to do it with them. Oh, I see. There'll be like a time loop again. The time loop will go back through and then she's gonna do the same thing to Yuka or something different because Sachiko will have remembered this because she remembers all the time loops. That makes sense. Okay, fuck it. Let's just look closer. Ah! Ah, you got me. That's it? Come on, I want like a cool creepy description. Just got you. Yeah. Okay, whatever. Ah! Ah! He's eating it! Ah! Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh, Kizami, that's so gross. You've done some fucked up shit. That's kind of weird, though. Kind of weird. That's so weird. That's twisted. I mean, I know you're creepy, but don't you just want to see the light in people as they're about to die to understand them better? Instead, you're like, I don't think if you eat her tooth, you're gonna understand her better. You're not gonna have any more empathy from eating her tooth. I like this sad music playing. Like, who are we supposed to feel sad for? The fact that Kizami's psycho? Are we supposed to feel sad because Toko can't get her tooth back? Or is it just weird? I guess it's just sad because the whole situation of, you know, their school people are dying really quickly, or getting injured really quickly anyways. Everything's gone so horribly wrong so fast. And now Toko is doomed to forever stay in this infirmary until Satoshi comes and gets bad N4. If he gets bad N4, and if not, I bet Toko just dies in here. Too afraid to leave. There didn't seem to be any way to lock the door from the inside. I needed to find a hiding place before Yuya showed up. The corner of the room? Under the bed, maybe? I was scanning every inch of the room as quickly as possible, sizing up my surroundings. My eyes stopped on one of the medicine shelves. And those are the scissors she stabbed Satoshi with. Great. It felt like such a revelation, like the answer I was looking for, but what was I going to do with scissors? Was I going to fight? Fight who, Yuya? I wouldn't stand a chance. I decided to leave them there. I stepped back and crouched down behind the partitioning screen that was set up in the middle of the room. Yeah, scissors against a big giant knife. I don't think that would work very well. Okay, whose perspective are we seeing it from now? Black screen means different perspective. Okay. Emi and Okawa. But who are we playing as? Urabe had run back to the bathrooms to the third floor to warn Okawa about the imminent danger that was approaching. Unsurprisingly, he was still crouched on the ground, cradling Katayama's lifeless head in his arms. And he was still stubbornly insistent that if he were to leave that spot, he'd have to carry Katayama with him. Okawa! Just... Ah, stop it. What a stubborn, foolish man. I'd had enough. I decided I'd rip Katayama's body from Okawa's arms and kick it down the stairs. That's gonna help. It made one hell of a thud when it hit the landing, but he was already dead, so what did it matter? As long as it helped get Okawa moving, I didn't care. See, look, he's dead, so get your arse off that floor and run, your ass, arse. Oh, this is Kizami's point of view. Urabe was looking at me, then at Katayama's body, then back at me, as if she couldn't make up her mind which was more interesting. But why was she looking at me? Did I have something on my face? Okawa, on the other hand, was focused squarely on Katayama. He was trembling all over, but I thought he finally understood, then he turned toward me. Yelled like a madman, ran down the stairs toward his friend's body. He wasn't exactly in his right mind, however, so those last few steps didn't quite go as planned. Oh, he tripped! Quite hard next to Katayama. Kizami didn't push him. Well, that's weird. Maybe Kizami would have continued to act normal if it wasn't for you guys. Oh, you guys. I wasn't the one who killed Katayama. So that's the situation. Oh, you fuckers! You just, I mean, you didn't know he was crazy, but seriously, you guys, you made Kizami have a little bit of a revelation here. The revelation of how he can start killing. Oh. Way to go, Byakudan. That's the end of Tooth. Ha! Why did it say ha there? Tooth. Ha! I guess maybe that's from, like, maybe the Japanese word for tooth? Oh, Book of Shadows. You so silly. Blood began spouting from the mark in the class rep's neck. The rounded saw blade from the desk earlier was digging into it for some reason. Well, she's trying her best, huh? There seemed to be no escape for us. We were destined to die here. This was our punishment for meddling in things no human should, for playing God. Uh-oh, here we go, Naomi. Mine was on fire now, too. I was next. There was no fighting this. We were both going to die here. We were going to die horribly and painfully. Like an angel sent down from on high, our savior suddenly appeared. A woman older than us scrambled down the stairs, calling out the class rep's name. She leaped over the railing and practically dove toward the burning paper towels. Oh yeah, she's... Ayumi, why didn't you consult Hinoe about this before you did it? I was thinking that earlier. I was like, she could have consulted her for, like, going headlong into this. I wonder, is Ayumi still injured, or did that, like, reverse her injuries? She's probably still physically injured. And Hinoe's gonna be pissed. I had no idea what this woman had just done, but whatever it was, it saved us. The flames were out and we were no longer in danger. And the class rep's neck, though gashed, was still fully intact. Oh, this is... I'm not controlling this. What?! Oh, her sister sacrificed herself for Ayumi. Oh my god! Ah! Holy shit! Jesus!